Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the downtown Las Vegas Good Buddies. We've got a 3-hour show today, everybody. So if you're watching the replay, the first hour is the three of us. We're going to talk about childhood imagination. Now, if you're here for our crazy influencers, we've got two amazing influencers later. We got the Terror Jewel coming out. Hey, claps, yep. We got the one, the only, the I Am Josh, the 702 coming on out. Later on, I think we're even going to go out and record and do some videos. And so check out their Instagrams. We also, in an hour from now, everybody that's really interested in it, we have the underground tunnel conversation. I cannot wait for this. We've got Shauna and Tony coming out. They are the host of the charity, the CEOs, presidents. You know, I don't even know. I have so many questions. So we've got Shauna and Tony coming out, and they run the Holy Spirits for Las Vegas, where they go to the underground tunnels. Holy titties. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast today. Today we're going to be talking about, I think that's something that's pretty fascinating, childhood dreams, the realities of life, the power of imagination. And, I'm thrilled to introduce, I'd say, two extraordinary individuals. We've got the one, the only, the Scott Warner. And did I mention these guys, for whatever reason, stick by my side thick through sin? And so I know they got incredible stories. The other one coming up is the one, the only, the Dang-Gladian, the Vladdy Daddy. All right, boys, so as we get into this, let's get into the ideas of how big did you dream? Did you build castles? Did you try and conquer the skies? Do you remember building little armies? Like, okay, so for me, my father bought me this, Risk set, and I would set it up, or even this old feudal set, and I would make armies. And there were so many possibilities. This army could do this army could do that. Or I thought that I could write something in a book because I saw it on TV. And so I would be watching the NHL playoffs and try and write my own brackets. Who would win or lose? Basically Vegas shit, you know? But I'd be like, this team is going to win. That team's, this would be such a fantasy, this team. And then I would write it down, and I would believe that would become real. You know, I wrote it down, and so I remember so vividly of, this is going to happen. I'm making this happen. Or I remember playing street hockey one day, and I was way up the street, but I had watched every single New Jersey Devils playoff game because I liked Scott Stevens. And the one game, my mom didn't come get me to watch it because I always sat in the same spot with my arms, curled up, and I didn't, you didn't move. You watched that whole game. And every game I was there, we won in playoffs, or so I thought. And then the one, because it was a me, and I was sitting there. And then the one time my mom didn't get me, tell me I didn't yell at her, and I'm all, you stupid, what the Tell me I didn't go to my room crying and shit. And they're like, what do you mean? You were out there having so much fun. We let you play late. My mom thought she was doing me a favor because she didn't come get me when the street lights came on. I just kept playing because, to her credit, I was having so much fun. I'm like, woman, I missed the game. I didn't come in because I knew the game started at 5, and I just thought the streetlights were on early, and you were going to come get me. And so I was so mad because I truly believe that I let down the New Jersey Devils. I was like, Mom, Scott needed me. Not you, Scott Stevens. I was like, Scott needed me, Mom. But you get this, like, this wonder, or it infuses you almost with, like, magic that you don't have. But you feel like that you can do that, right? So with that said, today we're talking about imagination. The thoughts of a child versus the realities of today. Any thoughts on that?
That's like.
Did we cut deep on a lot of things there?
You had like childhood power, and I
Yeah,
feel like that power.
so.
That power does exist too, like where you feel like you're in control of everything, and like you have like influence, and that's a beautiful thing as a kid, and it's sad that like in that moment it got taken away from you. You know,
The imagination of it all.
yeah, because I would never tell a kid, you know, that their imagination is wrong or what their dreams are like aren't going to work out or anything like that. I would let them go for it, you know, even if it's like the most craziest, outrageous thing, you know. I just think like, who do we have alive today? You know what I mean? Like people like thinking, oh, we're going to go live to Mars or whatever. Like I would never tell anybody that they can't do that just because I think humans are meant to do extraordinary things. I mean, my dream was kind of like, honestly, is to be a professional hockey player at one point. And, but like my older brother shut that down. He's like, oh yeah, you'll never be it because you got to be this big and this tall and this size and this and this and this and that. And, you know, but like, and he didn't know any better, you know what I mean? But he was just my brother. And, like,
and then you ended up being 6 foot tall. You'd have been the average hockey player.
Right.
But look at you.
Yeah.
If you would bulk up, add 20 pounds of beef on you, you'd be the standard hockey player.
So that's like one thing I wish like that I could have had like the right things into place. But even if it wasn't just like that, the fact that we couldn't afford to play ice hockey anyway. So it's not like, you know, then you have to get private tutors. Like I know it's a lot of work to do, but that was like one dream that I had that like I definitely wish I could have done because that'd be epic. That'd be awesome doing what you love, you know. And I think that's still something as adults you should try to go for to do what you love, you know. Nothing, no shame in that, you know, no shame in going for that. And hopefully it brings you financial freedom. You know, I'm not saying just you want to go live on the street because it's fresh air. You know what I mean? I feel like you should have some ambitions, but everybody's different. You know what I mean? I'm not here to judge anybody.
Well, we're going to be talking all about that in an hour here.
Tony has.
Yes, you are.
Yes, we are. Oh, I'm so excited.
Don't chase the money, chase the passion.
Chase the passion?
Yeah, and like kids, you have a lot of passion about something, you know what I mean? Like, cause I used to like, when I did something, I did it like all out. Like whether it's Legos for 6 hours or like when I got older, I went to go and skateboard and like, I started skateboarding at like 10 years old and I'd go out there and practice literally from 2:30 p.m. until like 9:30 at night or whatever, until the street lights came in. Luckily we lived in a cul-de-sac, so like, I don't know how like strict it was cause my mom could just look out the window and see me kind of thing, you know, but that was fun. Oh, wow. I did a lot of skateboarding back then, and like
yeah, but it's different when they can see you, right? Or
at least I imagine she could. I mean, plus it was different day, like it was different times. I wasn't worried about getting abducted or anything like that, or you know, like I don't know. Now you hear a lot of the crazy stories, you know, like now you got to watch your kid everywhere.
Kid, I'm trying to put you in like a can't put your ass in the car. I'm sorry.
No, I used to be the shortest kid though. I used to be pretty short, at least in like 3rd grade or something like that. Yeah, it was like me and Jose. We're like the shortest kids, but we're like also the fastest. So we'd be like running. There's something called the jogathon. We'd have to run like 15 laps around the school, or this ballpark part of the school.
So how would you feel about still being the take Frozen Fire to this? Thanks, chat. And it made me think of something. So I know the back home they do it with the rain. So I used to ref a lot of the rain summer clinics where like the guys trying out to be on the team. They weren't ready to be on the team, but they were close. And at the end of those tryouts, to kind of motivate everybody, they did the most savage thing ever. They did open tryouts. And they always guaranteed 1 to 2 guys. Oh yeah? Come on down. You would be great for an open tryout. And I base it on your endurance. So typically an open tryout at the end is, hey Jose, an open tryout at the end, imagine like 5 minutes of just skating, full speed. And how many people can go 5 minutes full speed?
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, damn right it's tough. It's supposed to be tough. But I truly think you could do it. I think you could still end up like minor league. I mean, pros, shit, but come on, minor league is pros. If they pay you, go bar down, top titty, biscuit in the basket, and get paid for it. Oh.
Yeah, that'd be epic.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
sweet.
The way that I see it is everybody has something that they've grown appreciation and happiness from when they're young. So, for example, my say the best summarization is like I love taking things apart. Like I just saw something that was broken, I took it apart when I was like what 5 or 6 years old, and I'm just like started putting A and B together and just seeing how it works, you know. And my dream is to one day become a very successful uh, tech guru, if that's even a saying, or
Tech guru?
or the actual techno king that Elon Musk proclaims he is. But you know,
Oh, so you want his job? So you want to be the techno king?
yeah, because what you know, nothing to bash but Elon Musk. I love the guy to death, but like he pays engineers to do the thinking for him. I am an engineer and I know how to do the thinking for the projects. The spiel is that I'm trying to portray is I want to create a greener, brighter future. That's something I've been saying since day one, even as a kid. I was like, greener, brighter future. Now, the older I got, I was like, for the greener, brighter future. And then I just constantly improved, constantly learned, and that's what life is all about, just learning new aspects of what truly makes you happy. And,
Okay, well, so then
Yeah.
let's tie into that. So where do you think the disconnect starts then from the imagination of happiness to the adult practicalities, I guess is the word I'd be looking for, of the adult life?
I would say as a kid,
For somebody who just quit their job and went back to chasing the dream, I think this is a great example of where are the adult practicalities. Because you've got dreams, but even yourself, you're like, damn, that's a good contract. Would you call that trying something, buying in, selling out?
I would say
Hmm.
I've always told myself that I've never wanted to take shit from nobody, essentially. But at a sense, there's always going to be people that are going to be a lot smarter, more educated, and it's always great to understand that person's perspective on how they think and do things. So there's nothing wrong with like learning from a company corporate standpoint where you have a higher up as a manager or supervisor,
Yeah,
because
so if you want to be that corporate.
exactly. And the point is that I see it is as long as you have the dream, even as a kid, this has been something that I've been thinking about for 20 plus years. Like something I've always wanted to achieve is just independence. I don't have to talk to possibly my investors, but I'll talk to only what is logical and is practical to both gain revenue as well as advance technological advancements for man. So the point is, I want to be more of like a scientific company that utilizes the imagination prospect. That like you see something that actual hoverboards from Back to the Future.
Oh, those are epic.
Like
Okay.
I want to within 5 to 10 years, we'll probably find some kind of rock on the moon that's able to have that actual hover technology. You know, it's helium-3, and
Well, shit, let's do this live on camera.
Yeah.
So you want to create something. Scott wants to make business. Scott's like the smart. Scott trains doctors on his profession. You don't get much smarter than when you can brag and be like, I train doctors. That said, when you've got a nerd like yourself that knows how to 3D print, use technology to make something, like, oh, hi, hey, you over there, hey, you. How you feel about doing something with veins? Ever thought you could work on that?
I would build technology to make it easier.
Well, I mean, the thing with all of that is that I
You got a
haven't.
first thought there?
It's just like how I lost my NHL dreams
Mhm.
because it requires money and a lot of it. So to do like that technology stuff, yeah, you could do it, but it's gonna be like 7 years of like dumping millions into this every year, and maybe it'll work, maybe it'll not. But the thing is, you got to get the money.
Yeah.
That's where it comes down to. Because I have no doubt you could create this product is so basic. These products that we use, it's basically like a copper coil that's wrapped around a catheter that has bored out with the center, so you can put a wire through it, and then it connects through radio frequency, so it has electrical plug that plugged into a device like a generator unit. So it's like, you know, whatever circuitry that's built of, and then it has to know, and then there's only like basically two settings. You're either treating 10 centimeters at a time or 2.5 centimeters at a time. That's one device. The other device only does 7 centimeters, and that's it. And the story, you just push one button and it works. So they're very, very, very basic in their function of working, but you just have to go through like so many trials, and you have to get like real human patients and do stuff like that. Like that's the hard part. And that, like, I'm not gonna say I understand it. Yeah, I might be really smart at what I do, but the thing is, there's always somebody like a million times smarter than me, and I'm like literally, because there's people that have like a photographic memory, like they can read like this whole like. Just imagine reading like 2,000 pages in a weekend just for fun, and actually memorizing it. Like that's how I'm saying. Some people are like totally different levels. You know what I mean?
That'd be
But
amazing.
but yeah, being able to like basically like when it comes to like business stuff, like it's how can you make the person doing the work's life easier, and easier usually mean, well, what I mean by not just easier, that's one way, but like actually time. I feel like if it saves them time. Like my friend, he has a business, and you know, he sells to car dealerships a software that automatically posts their inventory on classified areas, whether it's Craigslist, Facebook, Marketplace, stuff like that. It's like anybody could do that. It's like doing it manually. It's like, okay, let me just click and, you know, you can post it yourself. But the thing is doing it automatically. That's the whole point, is that it's saving them time. I think if you could save people time, that's one way. Making it easier, you know, it depends, because some people, like, it might not be worth it though. You know, like, say it's going to cost you $100 either way. One's easier, one's harder, but it's not saving you money to switch everything to go to this quote-unquote easy mode. Mm-hmm. And, you know, maybe it would be worth it, but if it's not saving any money, or maybe it actually costs you more, but it's easier. So I think saving time is actually...
Time is money.
Time is money.
The doctor, I guarantee you, will pay more if at the end of the day he can make more money, right?
Yeah, but
like,
sometimes you can't...
Faster.
Sometimes they're stuck in a different mindset where they can't grasp their head around that. You're like, look, I can help you do 20 of these in 8 hours, when normally you were only doing 6 in 8 hours. So I can help you do 14 times more than what you're, not times, but I mean 14 quantity more. Yeah, but it's going to cost you more, and then they just don't want to pay it, because they don't want to pay the short upfront costs to get them at a faster result, or I mean at a bigger result, and even if it makes sense and it's less time. Like sometimes you just can't convince people.
The best way.
Then you got to move on.
The best way that I see it is with the current technological advancements that we have now, such as AI, ChatGPT. There's the whole prospect of automation, which we discussed in the other podcast. See, everything from a corporate building structure could be into a small little location building, and everything could be just managed through a computer.
So you want us to all work from home?
Well,
we wouldn't even have to be
essentially,
working.
it's work from home, and everything that is needed will be done into a database with ChatGPT or whatever AI system that just helps do the jobs more efficiently and easily, and cuts back costs for the corporation managing that certain sector.
Yeah, I'll tell you like a problem that one of these radio frequency catheter device companies had was that there was a piece that, so imagine like the whole thing has like, it's not even that many, but let's just say like 30 pieces of equipment. So each of them is like, one might come from Malaysia, one might come from here, from all around the world, right? So one piece from one country is like, oh, hey, all of a sudden we're 3 months backed out. Oh. It's like, how do you find that out? But I'm saying, like, if an AI can figure out, if an AI is talking to another AI of that supply chain, you know, so it's like a supply chain thing. Know. And then it's like, but it would know ahead of time, like, hey, you need to up production of that piece, because otherwise, without, you know, you need all 30 to make it work, 30 out of 30. But if you only have 29 out of 30, then you can't sell it. You know what I mean? And then you have all these doctors waiting for, and then patients waiting for treatment and stuff like that. Yeah. But that also leaves then the competitor came in. Everyone's going back to the competitor's product now, because they're like, oh, well, we're available. We're, you know. I feel it. And the guys that made that mistake, or that not having that product, they were the new guys in the game. They've only been around for like 5 years. Actually, 5 years, but about 5 years is when I seen them.
The best way is car companies, a great example. There's a lot of, like, you got Toyota, Honda, whatever, all these car companies, and they're all competing with each other because it's the way the capitalistic system ran in our economy.
I want money in my pocket as opposed to theirs. That's what they're thinking.
Because there's like, you could be a Ford and I could be a Chevy, and then like it could fluctuate. You could be a Nissan and I could be a Mitsubishi. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know what kind of portion of the psychological mindset will allow a person to get a certain branded car. Maybe it's just the cost affiliated, or maybe it's the popularity aspect, or maybe like the Subaru, which in my opinion is my favorite car because of the high quality parts that are being utilized in the vehicle.
Well, so reputation and stuff.
Okay, so let's tie this in and get it back. Let's bring it back, bring it back, but let's keep it dialed in. So, unfulfilled expectations. you want a Tesla, but you can only afford a $2,000 whoopty from 1980. You thought you were going to be a billionaire buying a Lambo, you're taking the bus. Where do you find the disconnect between our childhood expectations and what it's like to be in the realities we've encountered as being a goddamn adult?
Everything valuable takes so much hard work.
Economics.
And that's the main thing.
Economics
I thought
hard
things
work.
would like, oh, when I turn 18, everything's going to come easy. But this is like a 10-year-old thinking this, you know what I mean? But like, it's having that like, oh yeah, like I'm going to effortlessly be like, you know, a people person or be able to like public speak and stuff like that. I'm like, because I remember there was a time where it's like, oh, I got to do this public speaking or I have to do the presentation class, but I don't want to do it. But I'm like, oh, well, when I'm older, it's going to be easier. But actually, it never gets older. There's a point where it's like you have to, where the rubber meets the road, where you have to just do the presentation in front of the class. Or you're like, I used to not even want to like stand up and say, hi, my name's Scott, and you know we're here.
No
and
way.
then boom, I didn't even want to do that, like the most basic thing. You know what I mean? And like you want to, you know, I think like say a sentence about yourself.
You
or
just
whatever,
assumed
but
that eventually you'd be like, I am Scott.
Yeah.
Hear me roar.
So just like anything, it takes repetition, you know, and then like,
That's awesome.
and then you want to have, and then repetition will build the confidence, right? And then obviously you want to be doing like the right kind of repetition. You know what I mean? You want to be practicing whatever it is, like the correct way. And sometimes that's up to debate because like there could be different ways, like just even hockey, you can hold the stick close to you, like your elbows in or elbow wide, like you know. So there's two different, you know. And then like sometimes like you already learned one way, just do it that way, kind of thing too, though. You know, because I look at it, everything's like an art, mostly everything. You know, especially when it comes to like building stuff. You know, it's like how to use your hands, how do you leverage like a point. You know, like we have a friend, the photographer. He goes like this to hold a camera. Like it's like all this stuff is just like
That one extra. That
like
little more.
put it this way, like when you play one note on the piano, on an actual piano, it's 100 moving parts are happening to make that one action happen.
It's true.
So it's just like, you know, like having your fingers a certain way and doing all that, like that's all art.
Ooh.
But
Okay, the chat brought that. So the chat wants to actually talk about it. They brought it up multiple times now. At what point at what point in your life did you realize you were no longer able or were never going to be the president of the United States?
I'm
hasn't
not
happened
American. I'm from a different country. I'm like, I was at age 5. I'm like, oh, I can't be president. Damn.
well, I didn't have ambitions to be a president. So
Hell yeah, I know
that's why
you
don't.
did.
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
No, not really. No,
You'd be a
no.
great president, though. Why
I
was
probably
my
would be.
bro thinking you? Yeah,
But
I
I'm
know
saying,
you
so
would
I
be.
can't say I've lost that interest because I never really had it all too much. I mean, maybe it was a thought that passed, but not really. I was just too focused on other things, I guess. I remember like I took like a citizenship of the world class and stuff like that, like in Boy Scouts. But yeah, no, I didn't really have that ambition to do that. But also, you know, I bet like it could have been influenced in me if I was, you know, by my parents or somebody else. Definitely could have influenced me on that. I think that a lot does happen, you know, from the people you're around too. That's
Like,
why
you
it's
think
important
if your
as a
parents
kid.
were more into it and they were like, I'm a liberal, I'm just gonna just goofy. I'm a commie, I'm a this side, I'm a that side. Roar, let's do this shit and get involved.
Well, yeah, it's like it's a good chance that you're the same political party as your parents. There's also a good chance you're the same religion as them, but it's not always. And I don't even know, and a good chance could still be 50-50. That's still a freaking chance, you know what I mean? But yeah, like you're likely to follow in their footsteps. I mean, just by looking at history, a lot of people do just follow like whatever their parents do, and sometimes that's bad. Sometimes you got to change it up a little bit. Like for example, it's like, oh, well, my dad used to beat me, so I'm gonna beat my kid. I don't know if that's a right, you know what I'm saying? Like that might not be a good thing, you know.
Well, okay, now so I have no problem saying my mother, well, basically hit me, beat me once. Best thing she ever did. I grew up a lot that day. Sometimes you're being disrespectful and an asshole,
Yeah.
and she tried every other avenue, and eventually was like, bro, you're just not listening.
Well, then that comes down to the context.
And it's like,
You know
bro,
what I
you're
mean?
just not listening, you're being disrespectful, you're not giving me any other option. And at the time, I was like, ah! But as an adult, I'm like, yeah, I had that coming. She tried every other avenue. She really.
The older you get, you
No,
start
no,
to
and
like
that's
it.
good.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like, you know, I'm saying that's
Hey.
a context thing, and like you turned out
You
okay
get a
from
lit
that
coming,
moment. You know
man.
what I
You
mean?
get a lit
But you
coming.
hear like that guy David Goggins. I read his book, and like he used to get beat like all the time for like no reason. Like that's what I'm saying. That's just like.
But it's
terrible.
a primal. The thing is that at the end of the day, I think I was like 10, 11, 12 at best. Definitely a preteen. And my mother, when I was 12, could still beat my ass, barely, but she could beat my ass just enough where, like, you fuck up, you'll find out, you know? You challenge them, well, fuck around and find out, man, and I found out.
Yeah, well, I hear some mothers say that they want to have their kid fear them, and others don't. So it's like, I don't know what's better, but I'm not telling them how to raise their kid.
It's a fine line, right?
You know,
like,
and that's what I'm saying, yeah.
You don't want to be their best friend, but you want to be their best friend.
Yeah, you want them to be there for if they have a problem they could talk to you about, whatever. You know, you want.
But it's like, but I'm your parent. I'm not your best friend, but I'm your best friend.
If you beat up, you beat your kid. It's doing it out of love, essentially. You know, that's the way I see it.
Did you get beat?
Yeah, I did. And the older I got, the more of a sick fuck I became, and I'm like, you know, so I'm like, ooh, yeah.
Wow.
We won't tap into that then. Well then, let's move on. Let's move on to dreams. We were talking about this earlier, but not the kind of dreams that, like, Scott saying, oh, I dreamed to be a hockey player dreams. Do you remember having dreams as a child and almost wanting to go back to sleep to, like, you remembered it so vividly. You weren't able to experience to anybody else. But, okay, so me, for example, I'm so certain that I had, like, a same reoccurring dream where for a while, you could not convince me otherwise that I wasn't tapping into another world. Because I was falling asleep and my mind was, like, this, like, imagine, like, reading a book. It was continuing the fucking book.
Oh, yeah.
And
those are the best dreams.
Yeah,
I love
because
those
it
dreams.
went for months, man. For months.
Yeah, no, I've had some dreams like that too. One dream I had was like, so we had like an above ground spa in our backyard, and it was like on a concrete slab, and then where the concrete slab met where the grass was on the ground, like in my dream, like I would lift up the grass, and then like it'd be like 4 feet down, and then it'd be like a river, and there'd be like a guy right there. I don't know if it's a guy or a being with, like, honestly, it looked like a straw hat, like one of those hats you can't see the eyes. You know, it's like one of those like Undertaker hats, and it had like the oar to like pedal, you know, to do the boat, to oar the boat. And it's like, come on. And then like I would go in there and like, but it's like the first part of the dream, like the first time I had the dream, like I barely I went down there and I was like kind of like basically on like the shore, and it was like under like just, it was awesome. Like I still remember it pretty clearly, and it was like this little boat, and then it just went into like darkness, but like you could see the river, so it's almost like if it was like moonlit.
You could see it.
Yeah, it was like it was moonlit, like so you could kind of like see the ripples of the water and stuff like that. And that was like the first part of the dream. I was like, and then like when I remember waking up, like, man, that's such a cool dream. And then like I think I had it like not like right away, but it could have been months later or weeks later or whatever. And then it's like, well, we went a little bit further into it, but I don't really remember much after that. But I just remember like that was cool. Like I liked having epic dreams like that. Whoa. Or dreams where I could like, I mean, at some point I was able to have
flown in dreams.
Yeah, so I used to fly a lot actually.
Really? I can't. Okay, so hear me out.
Yeah.
So imagine looking at a picture like from a drone in 3D high up. And so for me, imagine like I can back up and move it a little bit, like a little to the left or to the right. But then I'm just like getting farther away, but I can never move forward or back. And then I'm like, fuck, I'm in a dream. And then I always realize, because I'm trying to go, wee! But basically what happens, like, watch this little guy, it looks like it's just like, and then it moves, and then it gets a little farther away, and it just moves. But I'm always seeing the same thing. I've never seen over here or there, or I'm never like, flying. I'm staying in this little area where I'm at right now and just in this area. How do you fly? Because I know I'm in a dream, and I'm thinking.
So the first time I was flying was I was in the three. What are the big wheels? Remember the big wheels? You had a big wheel in front, and then like two little tiny wheels. And like it was kind of like that, or maybe it was a tricycle. I don't remember, but it was three wheels though. It was either the big wheel or the tricycle. And like I was just in my street, and like it's like a certain area of the street because I was in a cul-de-sac. So if I went over like the middle, then I'd fly up, and it was probably about 15 feet in the air. And then but it was like a space, like you can only be in the air, like you can only fly
15 feet, kids.
15 feet high. Or no, it was probably like really 15, but like it probably, it was like 15 to 20 feet. It was still pretty high. You know what I mean? Okay. Because yeah, you're right. Proportionally, if I'm only like a 3-foot person, and then
15 feet is huge.
Yeah, no. Like, so like it looked like I'm like, whoa, wow. But I remember it was only like that one space, and then like once you got past that space, then it's like you'd come down, then you have to do like a circle around and do it again.
You got the circle around it.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta keep doing it. I gotta keep flying, and flying is awesome.
Okay, Peter Pan.
And then another dream was because of Peter Pan. So I watched the Peter Pan movie. So it was like a couch like this, like we're sitting on, and like I'd stand on the couch, and then like if you jumped in this spot and you had a happy thought, I kid you not, because from the movie, that's probably how I had that. So I jumped, and then like I'd fly around, but I'd just do like a circle in the room though. I'd like fly, do a circle in the room, and it was so cool because it was actually not it was like a first person flying. Like it was actually me flying.
I see you.
Wasn't
so yeah,
because sometimes it's third party dream, but like for the flying was first person.
Yeah, so you had your own POV, right? And
yeah, my own POV.
Yeah, you weren't third person. Yeah, third person would weird me the fuck out. I'm not a video game. If I became my own video game in dream, gee, holy. Oh my god.
The way that I see it is dreams in general. It's all based on what you put in your body. You know, if you go to bed sad or depressed or happy even, you know, your dreams change drastically, which is such a crazy phenomenon. And it's based on diet. It's based on how many hours you would sleep. Like if you would sleep a full 8 hours, you would have better dreams. Or if you sleep 5 or 4 hours, you would have completely weird, obscure dreams, is what I've noticed. And one dream in particular that I've had was one dream that I had in particular. We're vibrating. You see that?
I know, it's tight. Tell us about the dream.
The one dream that I had in particular was it's just me going up into a spaceship. Where it's like everybody's in a cordial line. Everybody's wearing like specific suits, and everybody's just climbing this escalator towards this giant super ship. And that's all. That's only happens whenever I'm very, very happy. Whenever I'm upset, I would have completely different dreams. Like something that would just be, like if you're angry or if you're sad and you go to sleep, you will have nightmares. That's what I've learned. That's why I never want to go to sleep upset or angry, because my dreams just take a drastic toll in how the outcome is going to be portrayed. And it's one of those scary things where it's like it's whatever you put in your body. Like you eat right, you sleep right, and you go to bed in a happy or exciting mood. No
content, yeah, you know.
And it's like your dreams just adapt to that and portray that visual of your happiness in the sleeping realm through how you built yourself throughout that day prior to going to bed. And it is one of those things that dreams is very, very, it's a thing that a lot of people are studying on. It's one of those that a lot of neuroscientists are really trying to dabble in, like the idea of how the neurological aspects work with the brain to develop a certain prospect of the dream world, you know. And it's something that, you know, I'm intrigued about. It's there's a sleep study. I don't know what it's called. It's a better word. It's like sleep study or something. It's a big word. Can't think of it at the moment. But yeah, no, dreams are something that, you know, we all have to just learn from and see how we become, you know. And you could see your future self in your dreams, at a sense, is the way I like to see it.
Yeah, I've definitely had the dreams where it's like the whole world's gonna end. I remember one dream where I'd look down the street. So I was in a cul-de-sac, but if I just went like just a little bit down the block, and then I could like see like almost a whole mile down this one street. It was like super straight. And I remember like looking down that street, like way in the distance, there's like dinosaurs that was like coming out. It was like a doomsday, and like the earthquake was happening, and it's like all the houses are basically like, instead of all the houses like I would see down the street, they'd be all like rubbled. So it's like, I wonder, like, was I sad that day? Was I like, you know, how did I go to bed? You know, and then the thing is, because you dream in like in 90-second REM intervals, right? So it's like, you tend to remember the ones towards the end, right? So that's why it's like, how can we, if you like those scientists, like, what if we could figure out like what's in the first dreams of the night? You know what I mean? Or do you wake them up after 90 minutes? Because I think if you wake up somebody at 90 minutes, they might be able to remember their dreams. So it's like that might be part of the protocol. You know, I'd imagine you'll wake them up, or towards the end of that 90-minute REM cycle.
Down with the stuff? A notebook next to you. A notebook right next to you is amazing.
Yeah.
And it's getting in the habit of you wake up and start writing. Because It's like anything else. It's practice. Because your mind is going to be more conscious to the idea of, I had this dream, remember it, write it down.
That's true.
Practice.
Weirdly enough, you forget
Yeah.
about the dream after like an hour or two, and you're like, shit, what did I
Shit.
dream about?
Well,
2
if I remember a dream
By
that
the time
much, I
I'm
do write it
brushing my
down.
teeth. Yeah.
Yeah, if I remember the
yeah,
dream
yeah,
that well, I will write it down if it's like interesting enough. Because sometimes I've come up with like little like stories. Like I can write a book out of this. And then I just wrote, like I wrote like 4 or 5 pages, everything I just remembered real quick, and like it's like okay, that's cool. And like I remember like what like I had like characters and everything. I have it written down somewhere, but like I don't have those dreams like every day. And then I wonder is like, do we dream more as kids as versus adults?
I would say so. As
Well,
kids,
I definitely dreamed more, I think, as a kid,
I think there's like some kind
or
of
at least remembered them more.
there's some kind of compound in your brain when you're young, like babies per se. You know, they have like a certain body chemical that is something that dissipates over time the older you get, and I feel like that chemical that's inside the brain of the baby is able to see the dream more accurately, and see, for some odd reasons there's been another weird phenomenon with babies, that they're able to see paranormal entities, which is weirdly studied, but it could be fact or could be
No,
cap,
they
you
run
know?
off different wavelengths on the brain. I think
That's true.
like I can't remember exactly because I'm not an expert on it, but it's like alpha waves or something like that. Like it's a certain type of wave, and then as you get older, it's like okay, now you're more on the beta wave or something like that. It's like you change like frequency. A
Yeah.
frequency is changing, and like a baby, they're only awake like 5 hours a day or something like if that. They're sleeping 20 hours, 18 hours a day, like in the
So you
newborn. So like
imagine.
they're dreaming all the time. But are they waking up, absorbing the world, and then dreaming, and then like processing it? Like maybe dreaming is more important when you're younger,
Okay,
and then dreaming can also help you insight. Sometimes they can try to solve problems. I don't know if it's like a whole supernatural thing where it's like, oh, I'm seeing the future in a dream.
Yeah,
thing.
okay, yes,
But I think
yes.
it might be telling yourself something. I don't know if it's actually supernatural.
Want story time for that?
If you think that
We haven't done this in a while. Want a story time?
All right, hit the story time for you.
Fuck yeah, it's been a
I
while.
know you want to. You got to give them their excitement. Look at this. This is
It ties into everything you say, I promise. Promise.
it's story time.
Fuck it, we'll fully commit. Alright, so, for me, because well, you actually had finally told me, bro, if I ever meet this ex, I will want to beat her ass. I've had to hear all of your goddamn shitty stories. Your woe is me. Your I want her back. I don't want her back. The wham, the blah, blah, blah. It was a tough time in my life, and thank you for being there. So, I remember having this dream where in my dream, me and her got back. And this dream took 3 days to play out. Like, I literally was just wanting to go back to sleep to continue the dream. By the 3rd day, tell me I didn't break up with her in dream world, hated her, and then I was at peace with everything because I was having all the same feelings, the same experiences when we were dating, except for this time I knew how it was going to end, so I had way less tolerance for it. And by day 3, I was the one to like hit the road, babe. Get the fuck out of my life. But it allowed me to wish her the best. I hope she's living a great life. I guess you could say after a long relationship, you always love or care, but not love like how I loved it. But like, I genuinely wish her the best, but I would never ever want to be with her again. But it took that dream for me to be, oh, woe is me, I'm so sad, I need you back in my life. But then this dream played out in reality. I was like, I on second thought, not only do I not, but wow, I better, let's never say that stuff again. A blessing. I dodged a bullet. And it's a blessing. But it took that dream to get there. See, tied in well, right? Sometimes you need that dose of reality in a dream to be like, whoa.
Yeah, like some of my final thoughts on the dreaming is basically it's a tool for learning, but it's also a tool for overcoming trauma. It's overcoming a bunch of things.
You wrote a lot of stuff down, bro. You
yeah,
gotta show
I
that
know.
on the camera, bro.
No.
Look at that, man. He's taking notes, man. That's that's a cool dude right here.
I thought I would magically be more of a, anyway, dreams are awesome. But I think they're there to learn something. And I think if you do something, a lot of it, you will start dreaming about that said thing.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
I mean? Watch,
No,
go binge watch a show for 8 hours or something. Tell me you're not going to dream about it. I know a lot of you've done that out there because it's so easy to binge watch on how good these shows are these days. Or if you play a video game until super late in the night, you'll start dreaming of playing the game. Like you'll whatever it is you do a long time, I feel like you'll start dreaming it. So it's like that's why I think dreaming is actually like a tool to like help your mind heal. But I think there's a lot more to it. But that's definitely part of it. Just like how the Hatter was saying about his trauma with the ex.
Write that down.
Yeah, write that down. But like, here's something, you don't even have to write it down. It'll happen to you. Your dreams are there to help you. I think they are really there to help you. They're there to help you. They kind of
let me see what I needed to see
before the hindsight.
I couldn't put it at peace. I promise you, I was not able to be at peace with it or wish her the best. Or pre-hand, I was either, oh, I love you, come back, or go fuck yourself, I hate you, or both, or whatever. But then because of that dream, I promise, I was just finally like, bro, I wish you the best. Thank you for the time we had. Good luck in life. I go my way, you go your way.
Yeah, it helped you get over it. Yeah, it helped you move on.
1,000%.
Smart. That's very smart.
My brain did that while I was asleep, though.
That's a very smart.
Yeah, because it's tired of wasting resources in the daytime when you're worrying about, your conscious mind can only think of a few things at once, let alone do something at once. You can really only do like one thing at a time. You could kind of multitask, meaning doing something at this, but it's like simultaneously you're doing one thing and then simultaneously you're doing the other thing, which it kind of looks like you're multitasking, but you can't really multitask that well. But yeah, like your conscious mind can only do a few things at once, but your unconscious mind, or some people call it the subconscious. Now they changed it to unconscious mind. I don't know, it's just a word play. But like your unconscious mind, they say it has like 2 million things happening, every day, let's say. So it's like, and that's why your unconscious mind could sabotage you too, though. So if that sense, that means the dreams, the nightmares could sabotage you, make you scared to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of an
example. It can make you scared to jump out of a plane.
Or scared of spiders or anything.
Skydive.
Scared of bees or something, 'cause
you guys want to give final thoughts? We're on our last couple minutes here.
I mean, that kind of was mine, but like,
I think, you knew
really
it.
good, man. Holy crap!
Vlad, do you want to give a final? You want to give a recap
just
there?
Like, shit, everything connects. What he just said.
It does.
Everything's connected.
Well, he had the notes. He was ready.
The way that I see it, ladies and gents, is dreaming, as the best way that Scott put it, is a great way to heal yourself from any traumas that you may or may have not experienced or think about, because that is what your brain is telling you to overall. Don't worry about it. Today.
Don't worry about it.
Be happy. That's
Be
why
happy.
it's the reason why today is called the present is because it's present. That you are gonna live another day and see new experiences and just overall dream about it, because that's what the thing is. It's like, yeah, you might have the same dream numerous times, but then sometimes new experiences and new TV shows or episodes come out and it just changes that dream realm for you and it makes you think big, and it's like, it's such a beautiful thing about the human body that we're able to experience the privilege of dreaming. Because do animals even dream? Like, did we do neurological?
I think they do.
Yeah. Dogs
do. There was actually a thing. Yeah, dogs do dream.
It'll unlock secrets in your life.
I would imagine. You would imagine what a cat is dreaming about, or a dog. Like they have their own
catching a bone.
Catching a bone. And the thing is, it's all in perspective. It's all the way that we put the type of chemicals and disciplinary actions on our bodies to.
We should have this topic
again.
Dream.
In Jesus' name, amen.
Well, and that, my friends,
dream on.
And that, my friends, brings us to another incredible episode. Holy titties! Oh, the memories of the childhood.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. The realities that shape our lives.
I know.
The force of the imagination.
It's crazy to think half of our lives were still as a youth.
Well, 1/3 of our lives are spent.
Because if you're 32, that's 16.
You sleep 8 hours a day. That's a third of your life. Third of your life you dream.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, third of life you're dreaming.
Yep. So with that, everybody, I want to give a great shout out to the one, the only, Scott Warren over here, who'll be returning with us in a moment here. And our one and only, our Vladdy Daddy. Those are actually some pretty remarkable stories. The insights, the sleeping, the dreams. As we wrap it up, let's take a moment to reflect the power of our childhood dreams and all the bullshit that we gotta endure as we grow up and figure out it's all fake in our adult lives.
Oh.
So let's give a cheesy one. Let's remember, it's never too late to reconnect with that inner child, to tap in with the boundless creativity that resides within each and every one of us every day. So, my dear listeners, go forth and embrace the lessons learned today from our awesome hosts over here. Let your imagination soar, let it roar, dare to dream as if you were a wide-eyed child trying to find your next nut. Jesus. And remember, even in the face of reality's challenges, there is always magic to be found everywhere. You just have to believe. So thank you for joining me, you guys, on that thought and this inspiring journey. We've got the one and only Sean and Tony. They're from the Las Vegas Holy Smoke. This was part 1 of 3. Coming up next, we're going to spend an hour with the charity group that goes to the Las Vegas underground tunnels. I have so many questions. Why would you even go to the underground tunnels? Who fucking hurt you? I'm so excited to have them here. So we've got that coming up next. For right now, we are going to stay live. We will edit this and make this into 3 different parts. So that was part 1 of 3. Part 2 of 3 coming up next. And later on, we do have some social media influencers who go on the streets and interview people. We're going to ask them all about that life and why they're chasing social media clout in Sin City. So we'll be back in, let's say 3 minutes, you guys. We'll be back in 3 minutes, and we'll be back with the Las Vegas underground tunnels. I'll see you guys on 3 minutes. Oh, and check out these amazing, amazing commercials we have. They're no longer my old ones. They're finally the downtown Las Vegas good buddies. P.S. We're on Spotify, you guys. Find us on Spotify. Please tell your friends to check out our podcast. I think it's fun. I'll see y'all in a minute. Get ready. Oh, so beautiful. Oh, love that shit.
Awesome. You got water though?
Do I?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't, but I have red cups and tap water. I'm sorry.
No,
I have orange. I have different kinds of orange juice. ladies, 10 minutes later. Maybe, but this is the most exciting one I've had. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, let me introduce you to our amazing group today. Oh, get that Vlad thing out of there. I'll get you guys' Instagram up in a second. I promise. Vlad. Boop.
I'm still here, y'all.
Boop. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special edition of our podcast where we're going to get into incredible work of charity that is, would you say making a tremendous impact in the underground tunnels of Las Vegas?
Literally.
Today we get the privilege of hosting an organization dedicated where they feed the homeless and providing them with, well, shit, man. I'm just going to say it, and they'll correct me later. A glimmer of hope amidst the shadows. So here we go for the heartwarming episode, as I'm going to uncover the experience that lies beneath the tunnels of the streets bustling in Sin City. So let's all welcome Shauna and Tony. We're thrilled to have you guys here. Okay, so let's just get right into it. And Scott, welcome back, everybody. Scott, welcome
Everybody.
back. So let's just get right into it. I'm thrilled to have you. Could you start by sharing the story behind your organization and how it came?
Oh, well, that didn't begin with us. So it's only so much that we can speak to other people's stories. But as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, or fill in where I missed something, a bunch of comedians got stoned one night and decided to do something human and cool and adventurous.
Wait, so this is from musicians?
Comedians.
Comedian.
Comedian? Wait.
Yeah.
So did the comedians
Local
joke?
comedians.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not as a joke, but like just kind of a do something human and fun and adventurous. And there's like a bit of danger going down to the tunnels at night underneath Las Vegas Boulevard and just hang out with the folks. And you better bring something. I mean, that's only the polite thing to do to any coming to anyone's home. Bring a gift, bring a bottle of wine.
Wait, bring a gift?
Yeah,
You bring food and water, weed. We're the 420 friendly charity, so we're always because we think it brings.
So you
people
guys get them
together.
stoned?
Yeah, then we hang out.
So you go underground to get them stoned?
And
food,
fed
and
and
food.
socks, batteries, hook up an ID, help with bureaucracy, deliver mail, just that's what it's become. But like
It's like a full suite of because everyone needs help in different ways,
as we offer to
But it
friends.
starts with food
Yeah.
because if you're hungry, you can't think right.
Yeah.
Water,
exactly.
food,
Yeah,
like
I
the
mean-
basal level, right?
Like that's a big one for me personally on water when it's hot, like when we're in triple digits for a prolonged period of time. I go around, pass out cold water, and that's like an immediate crisis management situation where I'm possibly preventing a medical or social situation. But then there's like that more long-term thing where you just show up and provide a social connection as well as material goods.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
It's
How long have you guys been doing that for, or what got you like involved
Yeah, like, what
with that?
compelled
Because
you
you
to
said you met some, but like the comedians. So you met them personally, or did you like hear about the story and just want to follow their footsteps, or how'd that connection happen?
Well, me and Jesse, we moved out here to Las Vegas in 2019, and we were homeless in Oakland for about a year. So we had like a
Together?
boat. Yeah, together.
Sorry.
We had a boat that we were living on through the summer. And through the summer months, it was cool because it was warm and hot, and we could stay there all the time. Nobody would say nothing because it was summer and stuff. But then when it came like the winter months, they started cracking down on people who were supposed to. Because you had to have like a permit and stuff to stay on the boats long term. So then we could only be on the boat for 2 nights a week, and then the other 5 nights we had to figure out somewhere else to go. So Jesse would like sleep on Bartolai.
Yeah.
Damn.
Sleep on the subway,
And then I had to
Wow.
every night I had to go to a friend's house. I had to go to 2 different people's houses, super far away, and then wake up super early, go to work.
Would you guys get worried for each other for the weekend then?
Oh
yeah.
Seriously, yeah.
And
like-
sometimes, she always had like a couch at the very least, but sometimes she would go with me for the marathon, stay awake all night and sleep in the day situations. Like being in San Francisco, there's you're just walking around. There's some amount of activity, so it's reasonably safe. And then when the BART, the subway in the Bay Area would open, then I'd get on it and sleep for like a few hours. And on a few nights, more than a few nights, she would join me for those marathon, stay awake.
Or watch each other's back. You nap, I nap.
No, it was more like she was just like being solid with me. You know? like she would
that's adorable.
go all night, and be wrecked the next day just so that I wasn't alone doing these adventures at night, which I soaked up a lot of game and a lot of life out in the demon hours of San Francisco. Yeah.
Damn.
What would you say is like one of the biggest fears or something, one of the biggest things you had to overcome, knowing that every night or 5 days you had to find a spot? Okay, so really, wow,
there's a constant threat of assault of one kind or another, which is why I wouldn't stay awake, why I wouldn't go to sleep at night. It's also why I chose not to have a tent. This is what I learned later on from another activist who was homeless, ran an encampment just for elderly homeless people. He explained to me that I wasn't homeless, I was transient because I didn't have a tent. I didn't have a location to not have a home at. I just wouldn't have felt safe that way. I kept on the move. I wore wrinkle-free clothes, so I would try to pass as a morning commuter sleeping. Kept my stuff in a computer bag as opposed to a backpack. And
computer bag?
Like a briefcase
kind
style.
of thing.
Yeah. So
that's take bags.
So
yeah,
you had to pay attention to your image and all that.
Oh yeah, and that's like a whole invisible homeless population. Really high level, in the Bay.
Blend.
But everywhere, to be passing as not homeless is a great strategy. You'll wind up, not harassed by police, be much less of a target for predators.
Okay, right now,
That's
so do you
crazy.
feel like you are, you're trapped inside of that thing, right? The last thing you want to do is be constricted. Like, if you're out on the street, you can go left, right, up, down, whatever. You're in that tent. You're in that tent.
And then you gotta have people watch your stuff. People get their stuff stolen all the time. And the
Because if it's outside of the
police
tent,
will just
it's
come
gone.
The
they'll
police will
sweep
steal your stuff,
everything and take all your stuff and throw everything away.
Just gone.
They'll give you like 5 minutes to get
Because
all your
homeless
stuff.
people don't have property, right?
Yeah.
Rights to it anyway.
So you can have like
Clearly.
your ID in a bag, and they don't care and they throw it away, and you can't get. They literally bring out dumpsters. Like imagine like every
Yeah.
6 months. Every 6 months, everything you accumulated just got thrown away by somebody, and you had to every time.
So
Yeah,
what
start
would
all
happen
over.
if you lost an ID or someone lost an ID? Like, what's the process?
Oh.
I understand, like in my mind, what I do,
hard.
but it's like it's a lot of work. Actually,
A lot of catch
I
22.
remember-
You don't have anywhere to
Even
get it sent to.
I was,
Because if you have
it was
no
hard for me to
papers.
get my ID because I only had a PO box for address.
Okay.
They
You
don't
have
send it to
have
PO
an
box, do
address
they? Yep.
to-
That's
yeah. You
weird.
can't use a PO box.
So do you
I
just
feel like
stalk
you should be able to
somebody's
walk
house
in
address?
an
Yeah.
hour or two and get a license,
right?
or not a
That's
license,
what
but
I'm
ID. I mean,
Yeah, it should.
because
be
that's like a
simple, but it's
basal
like,
thing that should be
You
easy.
need
Mhm.
a solid address, and then you need 2 pieces of mail,
Mhm.
and then like all this verification and stuff. And then people be weird. You want to use someone else's address, and they get a little weird. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
people you've known your
Come
whole
on,
life, as soon
man.
as you're homeless, they
It's
start
like,
looking at you
dude,
different,
yeah, it's
And-
like.
And to be
Yeah.
fair, after a while, I was pretty different, like because
It
it's
takes a toll.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so my behavior was
It's a unique experience. Not a lot of people go through that. I
Yeah.
don't think.
Yeah.
and then you wind up isolated by the people that you've known best your whole life. There was some homeless woman that I met. We were like watching each other's backs to take naps in Berkeley, and she had a lot of insight. She was met her. She was speaking at City Hall concerning something. She was public speaking there, and she had a brilliant moment on stage there. And people started giving her a lot of support, and so she had kind of a like a status, and it was uplifting for her that she had some kind of way to apply, and herself and have some kind of work to benefit others. But she was still completely homeless. No one hooked her up with a spot,
Yeah.
She was being applauded. There's this was
That's what you mean by the catch-22, because you're trying to have this image of like, I'm not homeless, but like you could use the help, but nobody's gonna like volunteer that anyway. But then if you're like coming in as a homeless guy all raggedy, it's like, no one wants to give you time of the day. They don't even want to hear you out.
And there's like a nominal fear that people have, a sense of threat from homeless people. Even if you just get discovered to be homeless, like I've been sitting here with this person, and you can feel the vibe shift. And then, we all of us benefit all the time from our social connections. We're always, if all of us would wind up homeless if not for social connections. So, have a hard time. We're always helping people and we don't realize it. People look to what we do and be like, oh, they're so charitable.
But
it's
you
like,
have to
we're
know
always
who
doing
to
that for each
trust.
other. Who do you know who to trust?
Oh, I see.
Okay,
Or how to help. Then you don't have to risk so much.
Okay, so I could get
True.
well, I'll just say, well, Scott knows. Well, so there was a moment where I had to put on my big boy pants, and I guess I was technically honest because I stayed at Scott's for 2 months. But it was one of those earn your keep, act like I was gonna move out, which I did. That's why I was only there 2 months. But it was one of those, like, it took a big risk on his part. But I guarantee you, if I started slacking off, getting drunk high, fucking around, bringing in hoes, this guy would have beat my ass, literally physically beat my ass and kicked me out. And so sometimes you get an opportunity and it's what you do with it.
Well, yeah, and then like just that situation, it's like I'm still taking a risk because I don't want to beat you up, and then I lose my job and go to jail or whatever. Like, and then I lose a house or whatever, and then I screw myself up, and then it's like, you don't like. I don't want to kick somebody out on the street either. I'm trying to help, but it's like you were there to help yourself, so you have to. And that's the thing. How do you help people but not?
Wait.
That
So
that doesn't
so
describe the phenomenon.
right, but
500,000 people.
Okay, so here,
sleeping
I
on
know the best
streets,
question to get into that. So
There's not 500,000 bad roommates. That's
Right,
not what
right,
we're
right.
looking at.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
looking
yeah.
at
Because this is
people
different.
who are elderly and rents go up in their area, or they aged out of the foster system, or their baby died because their boyfriend shook it. And now they've completely collapsed. This is referencing a particular woman that
That's emotional trauma.
that we
You
were
can't
helping, and they wound up doing an episode of Intervention, the A&E show, focusing on her and got her out of the tunnels. Now she's starting up a charity in LA, and it's like one tiny thing can render a person homeless. There was in Oakland, the homeless encampments were so expansive that there would be a gradation between subcultures. Here we have the drug addicts. Here we have the drug-addicted sex workers. Here we have sex workers that are not on drugs. And it just like blends as it goes down. And there was one encampment where it was people with speech impediments.
Really?
A whole camp.
Yeah, stuttering or just difficult
like
to talk.
slurring or some kind of
Some kind of speech impediment. And if you're familiar with the monster experiment,
refresh.
it was a monster experiment was a study where they I want to say early 1900s, where they took one group of kids and that stuttered, and they're like, we're setting you aside to be in a class for kids that speak exceptionally well. You have such great pronunciation. This is where you are. And then they all stopped stuttering. Then they took another group of kids that didn't stutter.
1939.
And they gave them they told them that they were stutterers and they're terrible at speaking. They all developed speech impediments. And then the reason they call it the monster experiment is because decades later, when they went to look up on what happened to these kids, their lives went to shit. They all lived in squalor or were homeless or just died young.
The ones that they basically embedded the bad language. Wow.
Yeah, and
not the other group.
Yeah, the other group
they stayed prospering.
Yeah. And yeah, so
that just shows how much important the influence of the people you're around and how they're giving you hope and encouraging you and telling you that you're like it's a fine line, because I don't want to say, oh, you're super great, you're already godlike, you're already 100%, there's nowhere to grow. You have to give them some room to grow. I remember I had this one teacher, he would never give anybody 100%. He's like, oh, you get 99. He's like, you got to have a little room for growth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like Ranch 99.
Okay.
That's philosophy.
So with that, let's tie this in. Let's tie this in because I have so many questions. So let's start getting into it. I feel like that was, Jesus Christ, privilege and an honor, you guys. Okay, so the underground tunnels can be daunting and unfamiliar. Even if you've been down there, that environment has always got to be a little unfamiliar. So with that, how do you discover the hidden community? And what is your challenges while you're down there trying to, I guess you could say, as cheesy it sounds, carry out your mission? But I mean, it is a mission. That's fair.
Help the mission.
Yeah, what gets in your way? Or what challenges do you face when you're trying to go down?
I feel like I don't really face no challenges. It's kind of weird to say. I'm so
Is that weird?
used to going down there.
Is that me just thinking the worst of the worst kind of thing? Is that
well, I mean,
not really how it is?
When you go to your local bar. they do exist.
Yeah.
But we don't
Jesus
think about them.
Christ,
We
the
don't
challenge
experience it
at my
on the-
local bar.
Yeah.
High school
Yeah.
never ends.
And like we said, it's like it's not. You don't want to think like, oh, I saw this one time in a movie where they broke a glass bottle in a bar and then they're gonna stab somebody. Like, oh, that could be me going in. Like, if you're going in with that attitude, like or that mindset, it's like,
Right,
what do you
no,
set yourself up for
that's
disaster?
huge.
But if you're going with like, hey man, there's a group of people here that need help, and you're just like trying to like make a connection. I don't know, like what's the correct mindset for someone going in there? I
I
guess.
don't know, because I just feel like I know all the people there. I know their names. I talk to them. I ask them how they're.
You feel
know.
like they're friends.
Yeah, they're
You
like
know
friends.
them,
They're all
yeah.
homies. Like there's this one couple, Steve and Kat. They have this tunnel that's where is it? It's kind of like on Tropicana or something. But they've been there for I think a decade. But it's not just like a tunnel. It's like an apartment. Like the place is nice, man.
Yeah.
It's so weird to say, but it's nice. You go in, they have like a living room
I've had it for years.
area, and then they have like a pantry kitchen area, and then they have a bedroom, and then they have like a back storage area. And it's so cozy.
Oh, wow.
So we always, whenever we do our mission days, we always go to Steve and Kat's last, and we save all the weed for their stuff.
So jam
Because
sessions break out,
yeah,
you know,
jam
musical
sessions,
equipment.
We
And,
talk a lot of ish, you know. Talk
So they got
about
power
stuff.
down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Electricity?
Yeah,
You know,
electricity, or
sometimes they have
sometimes.
power.
Batteries,
They have batteries
here and there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's just mostly just the vibe.
Like
is
candlelit.
so-
Like how do you see? Like I'm thinking. Well, he says dark tunnel. That's so I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
imagining something you can't see. How do you get light? Or
Candles,
Yeah.
you know, just what
Candles, fires.
Yeah.
A lot of time in the summer they get firewood, so they do fires and stuff.
Wait. Hold on.
Maybe like
Is
landscape.
it pitch black though?
Landscape.
Like, if
Under
there's no light?
wait. So they bring
Some
fire
tunnel-
underground and
Okay, well, so this
No,
particular
so like
tunnel's
this
not that.
tunnel, it's like
Yeah.
it's above ground.
But sometimes
And
we've
it's, like,
encountered
open
people
air.
like
okay.
But then
2
they do
blocks
have
in.
underground tunnels where it's like people be deep in the tunnel,
Mhm.
and it's like, and it's crazy. The water comes so fast. The water, it'll be like.
do you ever get nervous
here-
going down there for the water?
I've never been down there. I've only been down there once when it was like kind of flooded, and it was like, oh snap, this is like crazy. This is a lot of water, you know. So we had to take a different route, you know.
So I was talking to Jesse
but it comes
about
really
this.
fast. if
What
you're
are
not
what are
safe.
the kind of
Or
people
careful.
that live down there? How do they survive? Because these guys got to know the environment. Like, okay, so how do they know the weather, or do they weather prepare? Because some of these guys got to like laugh at it. I imagine where it
Oh,
would
no.
petrify me, but a flood happens, and I imagine them just make their float home or their house float, and then
There's a guy who does that. He's a military vet.
is that
made a
is that
pontoon.
real? Is that's real?
Well, I know of at least one.
A lot of people
yeah.
just have like escape plans.
Mhm.
Am
Because
I
they-
watching too much TV, like Kidding Imagination Land? I just imagine this like cracked out genius who sees all this water coming, starts giggling, puts everything on a raft, and then is laughing and like still watching TV and like smoking a cigar, not giving a fuck.
You know, I think they found some
I
clay
mean, they
tablets in Samaria that proves that that's actually the original version of Noah's Ark.
I
Or
mean,
something
I
close
just
to that, you
just
know?
the way you guys describe it, I just imagine somebody being like, "Yep, flood.
Uh-huh.
Yep, put everything on the raft. We're going up, baby. We're gonna come up here now."
No, that
Don't
actually,
even-
that actually there is a case of that, and he's
Yeah.
a sober type of dude.
Swear. So they're really. So I'm not even being
He's,
facetious.
he's a
That's
military
actually real.
vet. He's in a wheelchair, and he's got a dog, and his pontoon is,
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah,
him and his dog
yeah.
just float. Get out.
yeah, he just
Uh-huh.
rolls up on there. And,
That, he's a legend.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I have heard it.
One person has, like, this big tank, like, it floats, but it'll keep if they
But
get
now,
it, they should.
and now, how do they know the weather? How do they know the weather?
I mean, they still have access to tech. You know, they be talking to people. Like they.
I have seen people standing though with
Yeah.
like great concern, like that's the scout,
Uh-huh.
like looking at all the clouds in all the different directions, giving calls back, like you know, because it's a big labor to
Yep.
get ready for it,
Mhm.
and if it's a
Well,
false alarm, it's
Yeah, and if
you
it's a
know.
false alarm, it sucks because you just
Yeah.
moved all your stuff and it didn't rain.
Yeah.
So it can be kind of a gamble between.
And yeah, like you mentioned like people
You know,
who aren't
they're-
aware of it. There are no people who aren't aware of it. That's Darwin.
They're on top of
They
it, right?
die so frequently,
Oh.
you know, and so
Yeah, there have been two
Yeah.
people who died where I know this one story that there's a couple that lived in a tunnel and a flash flood happened and the dude got out, but the girl, she got stuck in like a shopping cart in the
Ooh.
tunnel and the water got high so fast and then she drowned. I think he died the same
Damn.
way. So it's super sad.
mm.
And it's like, no,
Damn.
the water will really, like,
So the opposite
Zero
does
to
happen. So
100.
they're not always ready, right?
If you get caught slipping,
If
you
you
know.
get caught slipping, it could cost you your life.
Yeah.
Well, there's caught slipping, or you're new, like you just moved in, you're a new resident.
I think
but
everyone
listen
knows.
listen
Yeah.
to your neighbors, you know.
I mean,
if you try to go at it alone.
Okay,
yeah.
how does that work? How does neighbors like?
Oh,
How do
community,
you?
yeah.
How are you in like a? Is this almost like living in like the 1800s, where like, buddy, there's no rules. You be a good neighbor. I got a gun. You got a gun. Don't be disrespectful.
What I've noticed is, and it's actually applied to our distribution strategy, is at each encampment there is some kind of figure or figures that
Maintain order.
And there's somebody who can enforce things physically, either through just, you know, the respect they garner from their size, you know, some like big dude, or and also like an empathy and like just political skill with, you know, communicating, and that can be like a guy, or it can be who possesses those traits, a woman, or a couple is like another scenario. I'm thinking of specific tunnels where there's this one couple where they it's a, I don't even know if they're a romantic couple, but they definitely have this mom and dad feel. And so I like to go just through those folks, you know.
Would you say like a trustworthy kind of feel?
Yeah, like people will trust them, you know, they give a sense of, you know, like honor and reliability, and also like actual physical protection.
That's what happens when you're with a male-female, though, right? Like, there is
but I'm thinking of
like
Irish.
you get trust right away. Now,
Irish is like a wild.
You forgot. I don't know how long you guys been together, but you get trust immediately as a male when, well, in your case, because I've got to meet Shauna enough, where like, she's very empathetic or nice, or you know, I don't know a lot of people that actually don't like Shauna. And so when you're actually, well, right, and so when you're around someone that, well, nobody hates, and then she's like, yeah, that's my man, that it earns you a place in the community. It's a trust thing.
Yeah, I mean,
That's true.
yeah,
So would you say that in this
for each
case,
other.
like they have like instead of daddy vibes, they have a mommy daddy vibes?
Isn't that? I don't think it's mommy daddy, but it's just like I don't know. I just think it's like a leadership thing. It's just kind of like the guy who looks out for everyone's best interest in a way. It's like democratic, you know. Like you can't just move into a tunnel. You like.
I mean, I'd say it's technocratic because the
Yeah.
authority is established through skill.
Or technocratic. I don't know, whatever the words are.
Yeah, like it's like there's this one cat, Irish, at one of our favorite
Irish is
tunnels
real
because that
sweet.
tunnel has a giant art gallery deep inside underneath.
Oh wow!
Underneath
That's really
Caesar's
cool.
Palace, it
And
just
there's
opens
always
up.
new art too.
But at that tunnel, there's this cat,
Wow.
Irish,
This
who
is amazing.
I think he was like a professional boxer, you know, or something like that. And he's got this like wily energy, right? But he's extremely emotional and sensitive and compassionate. And so those combination of traits, you know, his capacity for, you know, violence and to enforce what's right, and also the reliability that he knows what's right.
Right, he's not going to go over the top. He has to restrain. He'll be just.
Yeah, it's like, and sometimes we've had instances where we show up and someone's new to the area and they don't know us, and they do the reasonable thing, which is to regard us as a threat.
So how do you build
by coming into
trust?
their territory?
Well,
And then Irish will set them straight. Yeah.
mostly it was Doc who did all the hard work.
No, that's an honest question. No. So hold on, sorry. So okay, so say I'm brand new here, and you want to build trust and establish a connection, because damn, so you're trying to help. How do you make you feel comfortable? Accept, like, I don't want to say. I'll just say it as a joke, but I'm gonna regret it and get canceled. How do you be like, bitch, accept my help? I'm just trying to give you assistance. And his reply is, bitch, I just ran away from that shit. Why do you think I'm in this tunnel?
Oh, you know, this is another thing, especially when it comes to like church organizations. Okay, so it's Las
we
Vegas.
had this weird one.
Oh yeah,
this one weird group that, oh my god, they were so obnoxious. It was like some
they didn't
weird,
bring anything either.
Yeah, no, they were like some weird cult. It was like 6 of them, and they came out to the tunnels, and we were there at the same time. And they came out and they talked to all the people, and they were like, "Yeah, you need to go to church and pray to God." And
They all had matching T-shirts with some kind of statement about God
and
or
like
something.
we bless you, and like and
And
then
they
they talked to us and like, yeah, we're on the same side.
But
It's
they-
like, no, you're
Same
not.
team, bro,
They didn't
same
bring
team.
No food, they didn't bring no water.
They just brought the Bible, but they
did
bring
offer.
They just came to preach.
They
and
did,
then, like,
no, they offered this like a 6-month stay at their like remote desert compound. Remember that part?
Is this how you get your
So they're like, we have this like facility where we can help
pretty
people.
much.
Jesus.
It
Like
was
rehab.
so weird.
Okay.
Did you guys catch red
Well-
flags everywhere?
Oh
Oh
yeah.
no, we all
Yeah.
were like, dude,
Well,
what
yeah,
the
tell me
hell's the
about that.
problem?
I'm
Yeah,
sure-
tell
I
us
forgot
more.
the
Yeah,
name
this
of
is
the group.
crazy.
Yeah, it was so weird.
At one point, she says, like, yeah, so what happens at this facility? Oh, we help people get off of drugs and get past like other problems. And I was like, oh, like being gay? And she's like, yeah. And she realized that she wasn't supposed to expose that they're like a anti-gay like reprogramming conversion therapy cult.
Yeah, it was so weird.
But you're homeless, and then all of a sudden you're like desperate, and if you get like fooled by these cats, now all of a sudden you're like in some
Fooled, right?
compound for
Fooled.
6 months, and then like a year from that you're like weeding baskets for the leader. Like it's
that's like indentured
That's so bad.
servitude
Yeah,
or something
exactly.
like that.
So
Yeah.
bad.
You have to help
It's
people.
crazy.
I feel like from
Like, don't come
without
out to preach and
expecting
not bring
anything
no
in
food or
return.
nothing,
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you
It's
guys
like- it
aren't
was like the
expecting
middle of
anything in
summer.
return.
It's like 105 degrees, and you came out to really stress people out and preach and not
Mhm.
bring any freaking water, bro.
yeah.
What the?
Like, bring me
Oh
some
my
water, and then I'll
God.
listen to your BS a little
Yeah.
better, right?
We basically told him to get off our turf, bro. Like,
Yeah, and then there's
nah.
like just other, like a lot of people
nah.
have been abused by churches, and this is why they're homeless, is because of some kind of like, Father Fondle got to them when they were 6 years old, and no, the church is the last thing they want to hear.
Yeah.
That's like the quality of their lives is determined by how far their mind can be from the trauma that the church gave to them. Especially in this area, a lot of Mormon activity and such. Mormons have like a huge. Pardon.
Yeah.
She's a
I used to be a Mormon.
yeah.
Yeah.
A buddy. Oh,
I was
yeah.
a-
So we told
I
him.
was
So we
a-
told him, buddy Scott's a Mormon.
And there's all
You're
of
a
this child
I was
abuse
raised-
associated
yeah.
with the organization.
Ah!
It's-
How do you do, fellow
Yeah.
Mormon?
Well, we didn't tell Sean about
And
that.
hey, my family's Catholic. We're Italian. Church rapes the fuck out of little kids. This is part of the cultures that we live in, and America at large.
Jeez.
But for a lot of people, their association with trauma comes from whatever church organization their culture was a part of. It's the source of it. Some in England, there's a bunch of kids that got raped by Jimmy Savile. So every time the BBC comes on TV, they twitch a bit. So to come with like we're called the misfit missionaries, but to come with a secular, we're just here to hang out. Hey, we got
yeah.
food.
Mhm.
This, and it's come up a couple times, asking about like, oh, here to help people. It's my
So-
philosophy that that's the worst attitude to come with,
Yeah.
because it's patronizing. It can
It's
offend
the-
them. It's
It's
also
the wrong vibe.
you're not going to bond with people like, I'm here to help you. I'm a
Yeah.
savior. Like this arrogance is
Mhm.
completely incorrect. But I understand why people would come with it. I think it's a wholesome motivation. But in application,
Right, application.
Is it them
go
coming,
with- I go with,
eating, or
hey, I
watching
can
something
get this
out of
free
this?
food from 7th and Carson. They give us 100 free meals every Wednesday.
Mhm.
And we go down, it's like,
7th
I
and
can get it. Oh, we
Carson.
get free socks
Yep.
from this corporation that makes socks. And for some reason, socks are a thing.
Socks are huge.
Oh,
Hey, I
sorry,
gotta
yeah.
stay
Oh
warm.
yeah, you need socks. Yeah.
Batteries, like.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Okay, because
I
you're already
provide it.
answering this. You're already answering this, but just so I can get an official. So, what other services do you provide to help regain stability, or like, now do you try to transition them out of homelessness, or are you just trying to provide stability for the moment?
Not either, I think. But we do wind up getting
Yeah.
people
Wrong
out.
button. Sorry,
we still
guys.
get
Wrong
people
buttons.
out. We've gotten a lot of people out.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
in years. We've gotten a lot. 1, 2, 3. 5,
And like they'll
6,
propose the idea, like after they
Yeah.
know us, they'll be like, "Hey, can you help me get my mail? Can you
Mhm.
help me get in contact with my family?"
Mhm.
And
That doesn't sound terrible.
yeah, no, it's just like we just hang
Yeah.
out, get to know them long enough,
Now,
and
we've
then
a
just
lot-
be a
we connect
person.
a lot of
So
people.
we were,
Yeah.
so we were, so I just came up with this right now.
now.
So I came up with this right now.
Mhm.
So what would it take to get you guys to like have a small little spot, so then all these people that are homeless could use your address to have their ID sent to you?
Well, like buy a facility?
Well, I mean, you don't need a facility. Let's
Or
take
like
it
a- like
easy.
I
You
was
just
thinking
need
of a-
you just need a tiny little spot where I can have my ID sent to, and I trust you, and you'll bring it back down to me.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
At this, I totally came up with a very, very random. Wasn't even a thought.
Mhm.
Like if you just use this address as an example, or
Mhm.
whatever.
Yeah, that's super. Like, I didn't have
That's
anything.
what you mean,
written
though,
on
right? Yeah, like just use
Yeah.
an address to help somebody get.
Right, yeah, because you guys go down. Okay, so we talked about this earlier, how frustrating it is. So I know from experience that, like, so I had somebody over here from Arizona, and we were able to go online and have her be like, hey, she's visiting here as a guest. She lost her ID. Send that ID here. Yeah, she had to go through some hoops and answer a bunch of really random questions. But at the end of the day, she proved that she was her, and then that ID was sent here. It still had the address from wherever she came from, and it was an Arizona ID. But an Arizona ID was able to get sent to Nevada. So now with that, is it something like...
We're trying to figure out a specific exactly to that.
Or like a centralized mailbox so that everyone.
That'd be
can-
beautiful, right?
Yeah, because people mail is a really big thing. You know, it's
An
like
ID is huge because these
ID,
assholes take them from you,
and people need
right?
to get their birth certificates and just like there's so much paperwork to like establish who you are.
But a trust house, again, it goes back to y'all a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Trustworthy.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it down a couple times, and everyone believes you.
Mm-hmm. We have big ideas.
No, or sometimes we can fail and we don't meet the what we say we'll do. Maybe something happens in our lives and we can't come through on time with materials and mail it, and things get delayed or something. But this is also what happens with any time friends interact. Like I was saying like earlier about like this is I'm gonna help people. We help each other all the time amongst our friends and in our community, but we don't then sit there and go, I'm gonna help this person. We're just like, no, this is what you do. So coming with this vibe, this is what we do.
Oh, you're able to shut me down there.
We're also
yeah, you
forgiven.
can shut me down there. I don't know what I'm talking about there.
Well, but I mean,
Super
we're
random.
forgiven for when we don't, magically, even though they become dependent and reliant on it. And then also, it's just, there's an understanding. It's like we're doing our best for people. Sometimes other people don't come through, or there's a car problem, or
Right. Yeah.
or I was just in a depressive suicidal fugue, and I couldn't walk out of the house that day,
I'm sure though.
Yeah, you're not overcommitting to any outcome.
Right.
It's still the same thing
because we're
with the
friends. They're
expectation.
not. Yeah, we're not that.
I feel like it adds too much stress to like set all these big goals. Just like two people. Like you can't. It can't be like an overwhelming endeavor because it's supposed to be wholesome and good. So if you make it like,
And that was actually a lesson we learned off of Doc and Teresa. They would discuss going back and forth with that. Yeah.
Get too corporate about it.
And then they dial it back.
Yeah.
Get their footing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're more trying to bring community and love. I feel like love's the answer. Like so far, especially with the transition that we went through recently.
That's really cool, you guys.
No, it's true because like when Doc was going
That's
down,
really cool.
Doc was the one who started. Doc and his wife, Teresa, they started Holy Smoke, but unfortunately they split recently. So it's been a big transition from Doc and Teresa doing it to me and Jesse doing it, and I kind of lost my train of thought. What was I talking about?
About love?
Oh yeah, no, because Doc was really going through it, like, and for the first time in like 5 years, he's like, I can't do this mission. I don't have my wife. I can't find it in myself
but
to
see,
do it.
that's what we were just talking about. The power couple.
Mm-hmm.
Power couple.
But yeah, no.
Well, I mean,
But
there's powerful,
but
they could step away from it,
but he found a new
Yeah.
power couple.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
so to speak,
Oh, there's a
we like
spin-off,
stepped
too.
up.
Okay, so let's talk
And
about
we
that
have a
power
spin-off
couple.
charity.
Let's talk about that because I already asked about the worst thing. So, what is, in your opinion, so far, while you've been at the ring, what is your most successful, funnest, memorable, like, I don't want to say, like, I had a good time, or, but, like, what is it good that just make you smile, kind of, like, memorable thing that you've had go down there?
I feel like they all make me smile. I enjoy doing all of them.
One got it. One, you don't be that mom that says you got 10 kids that are all your favorites. That's bullshit. 1 out of the 10 are always your favorite. Am I right, Scott? There's always that one that's a favorite. You can love them all the same.
You can love one more than the other. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing new friends in.
You think so?
And,
Yeah, I think one of the most fulfilling thing is finding new people to come on our missions.
Now, would you bring someone like Buddy Scott down there?
Yeah, we'll bring anybody if they're passionate and they're just, just don't be weird, bro.
Yeah, and also
Just
it's like a
be-
thing. I don't know if you ever done that kind of work, like going into like encampments where people are like really, there's a lot of vulnerability and sensitive like energies around, and intense energies. Some, I mean, like, it's sometimes some encampments are pretty challenging, but some are a delight. And then one has to be like, some camps are rough that you got to have your shields up, and then in some camps you have to put your shields down, otherwise you're gonna hurt people. There's like
That
different
makes
energies
sense.
like that, and just doing it is you change as you do it, and then the more you do it, the more you acquire this sophistication from this type of experience.
Would you say humility? Would you call that sophistication and humility at the same time?
Um,
We're in downtown Vegas. That's not me, you guys. I'm not playing sound effects. That's real police. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I hear it too.
Humility has to be part of it. Like I said, and I think that's one of the things that I'm here to help people think. It's like, no, come to have a good time and explore and be interested. There's really cool things happening. Just like unfathomable. Just there's this one cat who was like a survivalist, and he was in the tunnels for a few weeks, but then he kept moving because this is what this guy do. And while he was there, he built a clay kiln.
Oh yeah, it was so awesome.
Wait,
what?
And
Wait,
he
what?
had, like a structure around it. It
Kiln?
was like so intense. It
Yeah.
was like a furnace made out of freaking clay.
Why
and
am I
stuff.
thinking of things that the Indians would do?
It was like a freaking
Made from the clay of the
man-made-
earth right there.
Yeah, it was
Really?
a man-made furnace building structure. It was insane. It was like the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. People get you'd be surprised about the architecture down there. Like people will make dams. People will really make proper homes.
Like a kitchen
Yeah.
and everything. There was no plumbing
Yeah,
to it, but
people make
it
kitchens.
matters a lot when you have a counter with a sink. You're never putting anything in that sink,
Mhm.
but it just
The
creates a
aesthetic.
structure, a familiarity that.
Mhm. But
Oh,
people have,
and,
It's a landmark
beds.
now.
Nikki and Thor, their cat had kittens. There's a
Oh
bunch of little
yeah,
kittens
you
there.
told me
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the kitties. Oh, I want to see the kitties. Oh yeah, and then people got cats and dogs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You two are so adorable.
Yeah.
No,
So,
I love going down there.
It's
Like I don't
sad,
know,
yeah.
it's weird to say I look forward to it, but it's just they're my friends. I love hanging out with them and talking to them and seeing how their day is going. We just be hanging out. I just feel like it's good for everybody.
Mhm.
It's really people need. We humans are social. We need that social connection. We need to feel cared for and cared about. And I feel
And respected,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they help me as much as I
Yeah,
help
exactly.
them,
No,
you know
they're
what
also
I'm
very
saying?
generous, as they must be
Yeah.
amongst each other. They are generous with us. They hook
Okay,
us
but
up with
it
stuff
works
all the
both
time.
ways,
Yeah.
right?
Like Steve and Kat, we got married in their tunnel. We
Yeah.
had a proper ceremony.
Wait, hold on, wait. You guys got married in the
Yeah.
tunnels?
Mm-hmm.
And
Time
you know,
out, wait. Time out.
It's
Scott,
gorgeous.
Scott, can I?
It's
Scott,
on
can I?
YouTube.
Can I?
hit it. Story time.
Will you tell us how you got married in the tunnels?
Oh yeah.
These guys got married in the
It's
tunnels.
gorgeous.
And by the way,
Yeah.
promote your YouTube as well,
Yeah.
and where we can find it. We want to watch it.
Mhm.
Tell us that
It's a beautiful
story.
video, too, yeah.
Tell us that story.
Yeah, so
This will be waiting for when we're done.
oh yeah, man. We got married last year. What was it, March 30th?
March 30th.
It was
Yeah.
your grandmother. We didn't realize it till later, but it was his grandmother's birthday.
Grandma DeMarco.
Yeah. And we got married on the same day, which was wow. But no, we decided we were ready to get married. We wanted to get married. We were ready to tie the knot, but we were thinking about how to plan it and stuff. And then I realized because we were trying to invite a bunch of people and do a whole. Oh, that's right. What was it?
Scarface,
Do the Scarface
themed
thing.
wedding,
You were gonna do a Scarface?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I
Costumes
look-
were cheap,
Yeah, man, the movie is awesome.
Their Halloween costumes. are
So
bad.
yeah, we were thinking about making a big thing and stuff, but then I was like, damn, I gotta plan that. I don't want to deal with that. So I just wanted to do something.
So you were like, nope.
Exactly. I was like, I gotta plan that. and
Yeah, we
then
just it was we were stressed about it. And we're like,
Yeah.
fuck it, let's just
Let's
do it
just
at the
wing
mission
it.
tomorrow. What are you doing tomorrow? I don't know. Let's make a bunch of food, bring it down.
Yeah. So
No
Yeah.
way.
Made a bunch of marinara,
it
brought a
was
bunch of pasta, tortellini,
it was my
garlic
idea.
bread.
I was like, let's just get married to Stephen Katz. And then he made all the pastas and stuff. So we bought all this, or he made all this food. and we went to Stephen Katz, and Stephen Katz, that's the tunnel.
So you brought all this food underground?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Their
Theirs
tunnel,
is
they have a
like
lot
a-
of landscaping, and because it gets flooded regularly by the fire department's training facility, there's a lot of greenery. So we actually found like one of the only verdant patches in all of the Las Vegas desert. You know, like
No way,
So
you
when we watch
guys.
the video, it's
And then
got
you
on
see
YouTube
the Las Vegas Strip
Yeah.
in the background.
with greenery everywhere. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just and the
It's
way
so sweet.
people sat in the tunnel, it was very church aisle in aesthetic.
Mhm.
She walked, she
Wow.
walked down, and it was
Yeah, they made like a little impromptu bouquet. It was super sweet and cute. It was like the most magical thing in the world. But
I want everyone
Yeah.
to know they're holding hands.
with their,
This is
complimenting
adorable.
nail polish colors.
Oh, that's like a good. What do you say? It's the thought that counted, the creativity and the mind. You know what I mean? You don't need to
No,
have.
it was like the
Oh, you don't
greatest
need all that other
thing.
bullshit.
Until my family
Yeah,
member, she
it's,
was
it's
like,
the effort and the
You didn't need
creativity.
it.
I love
Yeah.
that.
It was totally,
And being
then
around
we had
people,
a
you know?
cake and everything, and we just like invited a couple friends. We had our one friend, my homegirl Alyssa. And then we brought our dog Daisy, and she babysat my dog while we was doing our vows. And then Doc did our wedding. It was just super, super sweet and wholesome. It was just like the cutest, sweetest wedding ever. And we inspired someone else to want to get married.
Oh, and there was also at the time
Yeah.
in attendance was another charity that got spun off from Holy Smoke.
Oh, okay.
There was some UNLV students that were like writing
Yeah.
a paper, studying us, and then they got inspired to do the work themselves. What are they? Do you know what they're called?
Yeah, they're called it's on my phone. I think it's called The Promise.
The Promise.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they hit tunnels on Sundays. We do Wednesdays,
Yeah,
and there's
they do
another crew
Sundays
called
and
Shine the Light. And
So if people want to join in,
Mhm.
how do they contact you?
Our Instagram is the best way because we always respond to the messages. So if you hit us up on Holy Smoke Vegas on Instagram, either me, Shauna, or Doc will respond. But you always get a response from us.
I'll give out my phone number because like I don't have an Instagram.
So wait, right here?
Yeah.
Is that right? So you guys want the
Yeah, I mean, give me.
so Holy
Oh,
Smoke
yeah.
Vegas?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's it.
Holy Smoke.
And-
Holy Smoke Los. If you look up Holy Smoke Misfit Missionaries.
Now you want to
online-
you really want to put your phone number out there?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
I can always
can
get
they
another
look
one.
at the can? Hold on. We'll give them your phone number. We got the replay talk.
510-506-5079. My name's Tony, and text me. Don't call me. And then we leave from downtown Las Vegas every Wednesday.
At 4 p.m. and we
Yeah,
meet at 7th
4-ish.
and Carson
Yeah.
restaurant.
Oh, you bring all the food from 7th and Carson.
Yeah, they donate
For-
100,
for their
like,
100,
meals. Yeah, and so
Is
we're
a
showing up
great
with good restaurant food. You know,
Yeah.
like
Oh my god!
Yeah.
So you're bringing 100. So you guys worked it out to bring 100 meals from 7th and Carson?
yeah,
Mhm. Each week.
right, which is a bougie.
That's bomb ass food, by the way. That's some bomb ass food.
One highly recommend.
Yo.
Nice patio,
Uh-huh.
great spot. Yeah.
7th and Carson's awesome.
They're the
Love
ones with
you.
the dollar shrimpies, like at happy hour for a bit, right?
Yeah, you know when I found
Yeah,
out
and
that
they're
they were
big,
the ones
and they're
providing
big,
the
yeah,
meals, I was,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, I still spent $50 there, but hey, I got dollar shrimp, all right?
Oh,
Fuck.
that's a downtown place.
7th and Carson. No, so 7th
Oh,
and Carson.
no,
Okay,
that's
no.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's
So
not on
the
Fremont.
Fremont Casino has terrible, gross dollar shrimp.
Yeah, I thought that was
7th
fine.
and Carson?
Yeah.
I thought
7th
that
and
was
Carson has bougie.
Yeah.
Because nobody goes there for well.
stuff.
So if you
Uh-huh.
want to like exploit the system, you would go to 7th and Carson and just have the shrimp. Nobody goes there for just the shrimp. You have their meals are expensive. They're good. They're woo. But on your receipt, it shows up as $1 shrimp cocktails. It's like hey, here's what I did in Vegas.
Mhm.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, no, they're
The
great.
dollar shrimp cocktail with the bottomless mimosa, that could be a good way to go.
So
at it.
good. Wow. So you guys get 100 meals,
Yeah,
and then
I
how
really
long
love
does
bringing
that take
bougie
to
food
give them
homeless
all
people,
away?
You know.
I feel like maybe like up to 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's really not too long of a endeavor. I feel like, and
Yeah.
they just get used to it, this rhythm, you know.
And then sometimes we
Oh,
can't find all the encampments because of police raids.
Yeah.
And
that
so
always sucks.
we wind up like with all this stuff, and so we wind up searching out new areas to provide to, and that's how we expand our territory
Wow.
that we serve. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's so crazy.
Like
So
now we were like there's some parks we go to, some freeway situations.
it just sounds
Yeah,
nuts to
there's a
hear
couple
you.
spots
This is
down
how I.
there
Ex-
that we
okay,
go
so
to.
we only have like 7 or 8 minutes left. But so how do you keep everybody motivated, and how do you expand on territories?
So when I've expanded on territories, it's been through word of mouth reference from someone at one camp. After we've been through a few times and they get to know us, and then they'll refer us. Like we're being checked out.
Yeah.
We're
Right.
they
They
gotta make sure
we're cool.
Yeah, and then we get
Yeah.
referral like that. And then through that, like I said, I like to go through find out how is this community structured, who is the polite person to approach, how to approach.
That makes sense.
Yeah, every camp has its own culture.
Yeah.
There's some camps that are just like young, attractive people that just aged out of the foster system. But they're still ambitious. Like 20-year-olds, 19-year-olds. Often they'll have like multiple camps where they have different sets of clothes. So
Wait. Multiple camps?
Yeah. This is like when you think of,
20-year-olds with multiple camps?
Yeah, that's a common strategy because
Swear.
then you have more security. You have
More secure. What the fuck?
No. Like a lot of people who are homeless and
I get it. It's just so smart. So
young kids.
sorry, maybe that came to
Yeah.
so fucking smart.
Yeah, your
You gotta be
average
crafty, man.
19-year-old that's aged out of the foster system is going to be very clever. Very
Yo,
savvy.
the survival skills.
And
Wow.
then they
Yeah,
still
that's
gotta
it.
go to work, and then I still want to hang out.
You got a thought on that,
you
Scott?
know?
Well, I'm just thinking it's like I knew a foster kid. It's
Take your
like
time.
his life is kind of hard because I knew him as an adult, like 50 years old. So, but I'm just trying to think if a lot of kids are 18, they have that support system. I think like that parents to live at.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
once you're 18,
Or even a
as a
community of
foster, you're
friends.
just
Yeah.
they
You're
kick
just
you
cut
out,
off.
right? You're like there's not a good transition.
And all your peers are also
No.
people who get thrown out too. They don't have resources to back you up. Like
Right. So even
Yeah.
the people right,
Yeah.
your friends or like you said,
They're
your peers,
on the
right?
same
Tragic
boat.
You're on the same
situation.
boat.
Mhm.
yeah, no, it's
See,
like
there really should be
yeah.
a better way to do the transition to adulthood. It shouldn't just be like,
Well,
suddenly black, suddenly white.
then, like, another-
there needs to be a nice gray area where they have time
Yeah.
to build something.
and then like another
At least
noticeable
a chance.
another
It's
noticeable
usually
population
college.
point is queer
Right.
kids that get kicked out, and there's an inordinate and overrepresented population of young queer people because their families reject them, and so they click together, and this creates its own some camps are more inclusive of this variation in our humanity.
Those
And,
camps are always really
yeah.
fun.
So it's like there's nothing so fun, but they're not antisocial. They can speak just well. But yeah, at this critical young age, people can reasonably wind up homeless for a state of time. Hopefully not go chronic. Hopefully not get so traumatized in that experience in those critical few years that they wind up not being able to function so well. But yeah, and this is with the diversity of it. There's a growing population of seniors, that become homeless.
Yeah.
Like that's a new thing. It's not like
My
the
dad
80s when
was,
Reagan kicked out all the
and
hospitals.
64, and he was
Yeah.
homeless for longer than I was. He was homeless for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then when I moved out to Vegas, I got him out 6 months later, and that was scary
Wow.
because
Damn.
his legs were getting really swollen,
Yeah.
and they were talking about amputating one of his
Yeah.
legs,
Oh wow.
which I didn't know about
Only
until
because
I
he was
got him out
homeless.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a health problem only faced because
That's
he's
bullshit,
outside.
right?
Yeah.
No, it scared the shit out of me. Because I remember his legs would get really swollen because he had to walk. You can't rest anywhere. You always have to move. My dad's like freaking 60 something. Ain't never been homeless at this age before. Like he can't work. He's already retired. He's got Social Security. There's no housing. There's really no option. I had to get him out because he wasn't gonna get out on his own. And if he stayed there. Like, I got a sister out there. She's been homeless in the Bay for like a decade or so. I can't get her out. I mean,
Wow.
she's just like die out
injury,
there,
yeah.
And that's like the reality of it. People get lost, It's sad. It's sad,
It's frustrating.
Mhm.
Well, okay. So first, I would love to have you guys again. Anytime you guys want to come on, let
Always,
me know.
yeah, honored, yeah.
I would,
Yeah.
I would even spend a whole week promoting it next time if you guys want to come on again.
That
Amazing.
sounds
Yeah, no.
awesome, man.
That being said, Scott, do you have any questions before we have let him go?
Well, this is like, I want to know if I understand, like, if I were to like sum it up, like what you guys kind of do. It's like basically it's a support system that, in other words, that for other reasons the other support system failed, whether it's a government helping or family, like they don't have any of that. You guys come in, give them food, give them water, give them friendship, and give them leadership. If they say, hey, you know what, I really want to get out of this situation, and you're like, maybe you'll help them, maybe not, but like you're not over committed to that. But I like that you're giving them the support system that doesn't exist. Like it only exists, like you said, if I'm coming in there, I'm trying to preach something, or someone's trying to come in and I have some agenda because I really want them, I want him to work for me or do something, like you know, whatever. It's like that means that's a selfish reason to go in there. It's not, you know. And I think people would think like, oh, how do I help them? But it's like you really got to change the question, right?
It's how do you wind up enjoying it yourself?
Right.
How do you have wholesome pleasure?
Okay, well,
and that's where like the friendship comes in, and then the leadership, because one, you know how to get out because you've been there. I think that so you can relate to. So you're past the part of like, cause some people are gonna judge like, oh, you know, some people don't want to help, you know. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, you've already like you do wonderful judged,
work, yeah.
You know, so you know what that feeling is like. You know, like you're like how you described like each person's different, but like some people are more timid because of whatever, or vulnerable, or like how you said it, or some people are like they got their guard up, they're ready to fight maybe, or you know, whatever the situation. I think that's really cool that you just build up a support system. So is that somewhat kind of accurate to what you say?
So, I think my biggest message I'm trying to send to people is just like, we're trying to spread community, you know, the importance of just, because we're all in this together. And I feel like with all the stuff that be going on these days, with like mass shooting, this and that, you know, it's like important for us to look out for each other, you know, look out for our most vulnerable community members, because we're only as strong as our weakest, you know. I mean, if we can't take care of our weakest, how are we gonna take care of you? And you're not even doing that bad, you know what I'm saying? Like everyone matters. Yeah. Everyone matters. You know?
And also, it raises the expectations for all of us. You know, like if the low, you know, when the bottom is higher, you know, when we're not thinking about people that die in the streets from flesh-eating bacteria that they contract because they sleep on the rocks in the pool of water underneath Las Vegas, you know, when that's not the bottom, okay, then maybe we can really get our shit together when it comes to the entitlements that we are due, such as, you know, not living in debt, not paying a bunch of money for rent, getting paid better, having, you know, like that gas isn't so expensive. You just uplift all of our struggles, because I mean, you know, people with families right now are really like, they're going hungry right now. They're not outside, you know, but they're eating worse. And so like if nobody's starving, then we can start working on people eating better food and having vacations, you know, throughout the year. Being able to have time with their families instead of working 64 hours like it's a badge of honor, you know, like, you know, like, you know, just like, you know, I'm a big advocate of the 3-hour work week, you know, but
but I like what you said though about like going for the worst problems and start there. I think that's great.
Making just like, the poorest people richer is the definition of a good economy. That's what all economies,
you know, and I've even heard rich people say, hey, the way I got wealthy, because he was poor growing up or whatever, but he says I helped enough people get what they want. Like he came with a service to help people. Even Tony Robbins one, like I think he started like giving out turkey, because one year they didn't get a Thanksgiving dinner. There's more to that story, but I know like that's how he got motivated.
There's a huge aspect that I'm learning to appreciate from having worked in politics for like last 10 years or so in the Bay Area, that charities have a great political power. They function in a lot of ways as like a chamber of commerce, networking style, but also like just the respect and clout. And I don't think there's anything wrong with the ambition for people to get involved in charity in order to build community power. You know, obviously not like a megalomaniac or a narcissist or anything, but like just the general like interest in bringing about power. Like they want to do good things. Well, you're gonna have to do good things if you're running a charity. Oh, now people will listen to you when you know attend these gatherings or speak at City Hall or have an opinion on anything. It's like, this person is really out here doing this work. You know, that's what kept Al Capone from getting busted for so long, is he ran so many charities.
Because he had the community on his side. Because the community was on his side.
You know, I know people all around this town. Like, this could be like, you know, like if things were to collapse, we have friends underground, literally. You know,
literally.
I don't think in terms of prepping, but or apocalypse. I really don't. But hey, it's kind of cool that Yeah, that's what.
You're ready.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah,
You know
it's
where
like
to go.
people are like, hey, you know what? That guy was there for me, you know,
Yeah.
or whatever. Like he was a ear, he lent an ear, or what, even at the basic level like that. Like you
Yeah.
said, that human interaction that people don't get. I think that's a wonderful thing. That's just amazing. I'm real proud of you guys. Yeah, that's like not.
Yeah, no.
not
So
a lot
you
of
want to
people
come
could do
down?
that.
Yeah. We're doing
I
it
mean-
tomorrow. We're doing it in like a few hours here. But then every Wednesday. Yeah.
Wednesday evening or Wednesday? Or
Wednesday at 4:00 is when we.
Yeah,
meet
Wednesday
up.
at 4, yeah.
4 p.m. Yeah. And then we hit like a few tunnels, maybe a couple parks. Yeah.
You always have a good time though.
That is
It's always
super
real
cool.
fun.
Yeah, yeah.
It's always super fun.
Well, holy smokes. Scott, you got anything else before we let him go?
No, I mean, I'm good. No, that was.
Hey, yo, okay, afterwards, he's got some side questions. I know you
Cool.
got.
And I just want to
So,
put out one
okay.
last thing, before, like if I can.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a
Wait.
solution to
Do you
homelessness.
have? Okay, so try. If you could keep it under a minute. Do you have anywhere? And remember, we're on YouTube, so we can pause and replay. Do you have anywhere where they can contribute to your mission?
Holy Smoke Las Vegas. Holy Smoke LV. Let's get the.
Yeah, we get the actual website.
Yeah, let's
We
get
do
this.
have a
Let's get this
website,
spot
and
on.
you
Yeah.
can donate on our Instagram too. But yeah.
So you have the donation on your Insta, and is this right? If you look on the TV screen, Holy Smoke Vegas.
Mhm.
HolySmokeVegas.org.
No, that's the IG is Holy Smoke Vegas, and the website is holysmokevegas.org. And then we have a whole website. Gives you the about us, our contact,
.org?
and everything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so my one thing I want to close with.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so there is a solution to homelessness. It's extremely well known and applied in the United States. They did it in Utah, eliminated homelessness by 95%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just give them homes, and it's cheaper. It doesn't cost as much. You know, you don't have to like clean up all the garbage that piles up. You don't have to deal with emergency room visits. Utah did it, 95%. It's called housing first.
95.
Yeah, it's called housing first. That's the policy.
We'll look that up later. Holy shit! Well, everybody, I'm excited. I do think I'll be able to bribe you guys to come back in. So that concludes our discussion with the Holy Smokes Vegas. Add them at their website on holysmokesvegas.org or their Instagram at Holy Smoke Vegas. I seriously want to express like gratitude, like the selflessness for the work. The idea that you actually prepared, give out food with no expectations because, well, fuck, it's not your food, but it's bougie food. But you prepared, you set it up, you got it together. And so the way that you were addressing the homelessness in the Las Vegas tunnels, very cool. And so I would say there were some hidden struggles there living beneath the glittering lights.
Beneath the neon lights, baby.
So remember, everybody, the importance of compassion to the community. It's not just about helping the homeless. It's about restoring their dignity and giving them a second chance because somehow it gives you a better chance at life as well. So I'm the Mad Hatter. With that, this was the Holy Smoke Vegas. We do have part 3. So this was part 2 of 3 with Sean and Tony. This was Holy Smoke Vegas. Next coming up, we've got I and Josh 702, and we've got the Terra Jewels, and we're going to talk about influencers trying to make it in Sin City. Brave. So we're going to go from the homeless to these bougie kids trying to catch the clout in Vegas. We will edit all of these and have a part 1, 2, and 3. So God bless you, everybody, and so everybody stick around. We'll see you all in about 5 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to a very special episode of Chasing Clout in Sin City. Jesus Christ, I don't even know where. I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna get right here. I'll update everyone's info in a second. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Let me just. Jesus, what a shit show. We were not ready. I was not ready. Well, everybody, welcome to the episode of Chasing Clout in Las Vegas. I guess I'll be your host of this shit show. I'll be the Mad Hatter. And today, we have an electrifying lined up cast today. We're all here in the bustling city of Las Vegas, where tell me dreams are not made and your fortunes are lost and somebody else's fortune was won. And Clout, by the way, Clout is the name of the game. So let's dive into it. Today we've got a unique dynamic. We've got two people that think maybe they are, maybe they aren't. We're going to talk about that in a moment. Are social media influencers in the Sin City who are also bringing together. So we've brought together two pairs of friends, each with a mix of fame and non-fame. In the wild chase for clout, because let's be honest, that's why Vlad and Vinny are here. They're here for the wild chase of clout. And sometimes regularity can collide. So without further ado, let's introduce our incredible cast. Okay. Now if you're anywhere on the social media spectrum, let's introduce the people you're already familiar with. We've got the one, the only, the I am Josh 702. Hey. Next over there, Jesus, this is a crowded couch. We have to update all the social media tags down low. We've got the one, the only, the Tara Jewel.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa. But now here are some larger-than-life personalities. Get ready. This man quit Tesla to make his own business, then went to go work again and said, fuck you, cocks, and decided I'm going to create my own business again. Welcome, Vladdy Daddy.
Vladdy Daddy!
And then, the one who brought everyone together, the one, the only, the he's too cool for everything. Well, one day he's going to be Instagram famous. The one, the only, Vinny.
Let's go!
All right, everybody. As we go through the clash of fame and anonymity, let's go to the one who has been on the strip in Fremont most.
Hola, that's me.
Hola. What would be, let's just start in with this. What would be the first no-no?
The first no-no?
Of all of this, before I even tie into any question you think I'm going to make, what would be the first no-no? And this is a very vague question intentionally. This is set up.
For clout chasing, I would say, shit. People's names, adding other people's names into certain things. I feel like that's a big no-no on my end. You know what I mean? For me personally, like I'm not.
So
gonna
what
say
is the
people's
biggest
names
question that you regret asking?
that I ever got asked? I would have to say, like, what's the worst thing you've done to your ex? That's always a rough one when people. Tell
You
me
asked that?
Yeah. Like a girl was like straight up, oh, I slept with my ex's dad, and I was like, what the fuck?
Wait, with their ex's dad? Girls really
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah, so she said, so I was like, what's the worst thing you're dead? She's like, your ex. She's like, oh, I slept with his dad. And I was like, God damn. I said, the world's rough. Fellas, be careful because, they'll break up with you and then sleep with your daddy.
Or your mom.
Or your mom, yeah, either
or
or.
your mama.
Or either or.
Doesn't matter if you're a female or not. 'Cause if I were a girl, I'd want to go after their mom. Not even because I'm lesbian, because I just feel like that would hit harder.
It's a deeper revenge.
Yeah.
That's some cold.
You guys are real life right now. Okay. So to our quote-unquote famous friends, how has fame affected your perception of clout? And do you feel the pressure constantly? Or do you ever feel like when you go to work, because I know you guys haven't made millions yet, but you do have enough fans, both of you, where the attention is real. And we'll get into that for both of you later, because you're both single, and so I have a really good question for that. But let's just start out with, has any of the pressure hit you? Like, do you ever feel like you need to stay relative, or you honestly don't give a fuck and you just feel like, I just need to be me, and this is
I
gonna
feel
be
like you constantly have to like post if you want to stay relevant with it. Like you constantly got to be on your story, posting something on your story. If you don't start posting your story all the time, I feel like the views go down of who's watching your story because they're like, oh, I'm not
The
posting anything.
algorithm.
Yeah.
So if you go on a vacation, do you feel like you have to post it?
Absolutely.
Or hey guys, I'm right here. Where are you looking?
Sorry.
So if you go on a vacation, do you feel like you have to post it? Or if you feel like you have a thought or see something, do you feel, because by the way, I know those Instagrams, I see them. So when you feel or see something, do you feel like, oh, I've got to talk about that and share that? Is that for you? Is that for them?
So,
I feel like. Well, for me, I feel like it's for both of us. especially
I'll
'cause
get
it's
to you
people
two
that-
next, don't worry.
Because I feel like it's people that are following us and everything, you know what I mean? So, like, they're coming along as part of the trip, you know, because they see the way that you live your lifestyle and what you're doing. So I feel like it's you and your followers going along. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it.
So do you feel like you could have a vacation and not worry about bringing your followers along?
No, not really.
Not anymore. So now I know what you do. I see your Instagram. Your Instagram has nothing to do with vacations, by the way. And now you think, by your own words, 2 seconds ago, that anyone gives a fuck about your vacation if you're not embarrassing the drunk tourist?
Well, even when I go, like, on vacation, like, I went to Portland and for vacation and for, like, / work. But I was there, like, interviewing and everything with it because, you know, that was the work part of it, was the interviews. And I brought everybody along to the clubs and the interviewing. So I don't know. I feel sometimes I'm still learning. But yeah.
You can have fun with it.
Yeah.
It's like part of it. You know what I mean? Like I remember I went to Barcelona and then we went to Malaga and I got into a fist fight with my mom's best friend. So I said, "Fuck you guys!" I got a 2-hour taxi to the airport in a foreign country where I don't speak the same fucking language, and I just went to a bar and I streamed. And I had a blast. And I went to Amsterdam.
Well, sometimes you have to ditch everybody to have a good time.
But I streamed throughout it. You know what I mean? Like I had fun with it. I was at the bar, I was streaming, and like before the flight, you know.
Yeah, it's like little breaks in between. It's like hold on, I'm at a new spot. I'm gonna stream right here. Then you go to the next spot, you hop on live, you know, a little bit there, and still.
Oh, these other two. Okay, so for my non-famous friends who. Well, that's why we're here. You want to be famous. What do you find clout, and what do you think it takes to get into their world? And listening to them, is that still a world you want?
In a business sense, I would say it's a professional outlook on how you would see that clientele base within like the business world. Like if somebody's purchasing a product from me, that's my type of clout, is having an organic transaction as well as communications based on my product that I'm trying to sell, as well as services rendered. And the way that I see that's the type of clout I'm trying to get, is just professional clientele within my business. But I utilize my platform SLR Tech to portray advancements within the PEV world. That's
Wait,
why that's
what?
my type of clout, is sharing my
Wait, so are you trying to be an Elon Musk kind of clout?
What?
Wait.
What?
Hey, well, I see you laughing over there. Elon Musk is famous as fuck.
I love
And
Elon
by the
Musk.
way,
I
you
love
look at who
Elon.
Elon Musk,
That song
he
is a great- it's a
smashes
great
cheeks,
song.
bro. He smashes
He does.
hot cheeks.
He does.
For real, he does.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yo, you're the richest man on world. He smashes
Anything.
beautiful cheeks.
Anything.
Anything. Vinny, same question.
Alright, well, I don't know. I just kind of want to share my adventures with whoever wants to come along for the ride. in my life, I've came across found myself in some really awesome situations, and it's just like, if I was able to share those with other people, like maybe like show them like, hey, yeah, be serious, go to your job, get your responsibilities taken care of, but don't forget to have some fun. And then like just showing people how easy it is to find fun and put yourself in some really awesome situations. Like I found myself on the tour bus for hippie sabotage.
Okay.
I smoked with the guys with hippie sabotage.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No idea
Okay.
who that is,
I've
but
partied with.
I don't know who that is, but okay, I'm with
seems
it.
legit.
He was happy about it. Let him have it.
You know Tavlov that gotta stay high all the time to keep you off my mind? They're the ones that did the remix of it.
Okay.
That made it like famous.
I like that.
And then I've also partied with like the floozies, but like being able to like just kind of like share my adventures with people and just see who.
Getting to interact and talk with everybody and vibe out.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like.
Yeah,
I don't want to brag about it, but like anybody who can like get some entertainment or just get some like motivation to get
Yeah,
out there
like
and like,
enjoyment out of it. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's like you're distracting people from like their shitty lives. Like, so when you do go live, like at least the type of streaming that I would do, like you did have to kind of like put on a show. Like people don't want to hear about your problems because they're coming to you to distract themselves from what they have going on. Same with people going on social media, watching videos. But
Did you know my next question? For my famous friends, what challenges do you think with Cain and Clout that these two non-famous people will experience?
A lot of people not like believing in you. They're like, "Oh, this is dumb," or "That looks stupid." That's probably like one of the main things with chasing clout, trying to get like people to follow you.
or like being afraid to post because you think people are gonna think it's stupid instead of it going viral or something.
But that's why you
Yeah.
gotta be yourself in the process.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're gonna stay true to your content no matter what you're doing. Because like with me, I just did fucking anything. People literally message me every single day still from those apps just to see how my day is because they like legit just like it was like a vlog lifestyle kind of thing. You know what I mean? It didn't matter what you did, you were the content. You know what I mean? Your content wasn't a subject, it was you.
Yeah, that's dope.
That's so smart. So, okay, so in the pursuit of clout, would you call this a blessing or a curse? Oh, okay, one second.
In pursuit of some clout, can we get my little Instagram tag on the screen?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You left him out.
You left him
I
hanging,
didn't do that on
Mad Hatter.
purpose. I didn't do that on purpose. I did not do that on purpose. Okay, I promise. I will keep editing
In
it.
pursuit of clout and fame, make sure to speak up for yourself and get your tag out there for people to see.
TM.
I'm
I want to
updating
TM
it.
my name, please. Copyright too.
Wait, did I get you wrong too?
No, I just wanted the little TM. Just let them know it's
The
true.
copyright logo. Right here, right now.
I'll look it up. The little like.
But not like my
No,
username.
no.
'cause I don't
Okay,
know.
okay. As I will continue, guys. I promise I will continue updating. But I really So I really
Back to the
do.
question.
I really would want to hear from both of you. Do you feel like this has been a blessing or a curse?
For me, it's been a blessing because what I've learned from it is that you're gonna be uncomfortable in situations. It's gonna feel awkward sometimes, but at the end of the day, like feeling like awkward is like part of it. You know what I mean? Feeling like
It's part of growth as a person too.
Yeah,
To feel
like-
uncomfortable, like step out of your comfort level.
yeah, exactly.
Telling-
Okay, so what have you both done that made you feel uncomfortable?
Tasing myself.
No way! What the fuck? What the?
Tasing.
Okay? Hold on. Wait.
Letting off fire
Hold on. Wait.
extinguishers.
No. Time out. Story time.
Dun, dun, dun.
Why you tased yourself? Why?
It was on Meet Me. When
What's the story behind that?
Please tell.
I was actually in, I don't know if he's even still on there, but he was like this bigger gifter on the app. And so when you'd go live, it's just like his gifters in the broadcast. And I went in there, and of course, I was hogging the box. And,
Of course, naturally.
I was having a dick off with
Hey,
somebody.
big guy with big bag. Why not? You're like, yes, daddy. I don't want to work anymore. Roar.
Well, no, somebody.
Give me that
in
big
his-
dick with
no,
that big
It wasn't
bag.
even him.
Hey, I don't blame you. I do that too. I've actually done that for
It wasn't
a
even
rich
him. It
girl.
was somebody in his comments
yeah.
that said, "I will give you a cruise ship if you chase yourself." I said, "Do it right now." He sent
So
it
perspective,
in my
what is a
DMs.
cruise ship cash out value?
I don't remember back in the day.
It's like $50 to $100.
Yeah, I was like, oh, screw it, and he sent another
so-
one, and then he did a jet.
So he sent 2 cruise ships, so at least $100.
and then the jet, which
And
was
then another
20.
$50.
No, that's way
25.
more. Way more. That was like
Oh,
100
all
or
right.
200 bucks.
So girl made $200.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
So you'll tase yourself for 200?
I was pretty inebriated.
She was ready for the 200.
I
Said,
wasn't
"Save
even
me now for the
live though. I was
200."
literally mooching off
But-
of somebody else's live. I wasn't
So-
even live. I was like,
You were
screw it.
live, but
No,
you
I
were on
wasn't.
somebody else's live.
Yeah, I was literally.
Well, you're live in the sense on your
I
broadcast.
was co-hosting.
Okay,
I
there
was
you go.
co-hosting.
So in the moment of being tased, did it hurt, or were you like all in for it?
For real.
They got me to do it 3 times.
3 fucking times.
I have the video,
What?
like the first.
God
Yeah.
damn.
No
They almost got me to do it
way.
in my neck. Well, because they kept sending me stuff, and I'm
They
like,
said to
oh,
do it in your
screw it.
fucking neck.
Yeah, and then they were
So-
like, all right, it was enough.
But
That's
how
aggressive.
excited? So for money, you get excited for pain?
No, I just do stupid
No,
things.
no. You looked pretty excited there.
I just do really stupid things, like
I do stupid things.
creatively.
Creatively. Creatively.
But it works. It's good. It's fun to watch. You know what I mean? Like I said, I make people feel better about their shitty life.
Okay, so this
By
brings me into my
judging
next question. And then we'll get back in. Okay, so actually first, no, we'll skip to it. I wrote down a bunch of things. So, what sacrifices have you both made for this? So, what I mean by sacrifices is making sure that your mom hates this, your dad thinks you're a weirdo, your friends are like you're a fucking idiot. Other friends don't talk to you anymore. Some people think, Josh, you're a slut because you hook up with all these girls.
What? Never.
I
Like, what sacrifices have you made in pursuit of clout?
Tom Terry.
Look at Vlad. Vlad hangs out with Josh, by the way.
My parents definitely didn't agree with it for a long time, and it like had a really bad resentment. 'Cause
Yeah,
they
mine
didn't
too.
see it.
Mine too, by the way.
They
mine too.
they thought I was like throwing away my life, and like
Yep.
I'm showing them like the income. I mean, there was a competition, 45 minutes, and I won $6,700.
Ooh, in the live meet competition. Yeah, I did that once too. Yeah. And you're like,
Yep.
babe, come on, look what I made.
Like, and they just still don't see it. And, you know, it did. I started dating someone from there that was also a bigger streamer. And,
No names.
no names. And he kind of like broke the wedge even further because he could relate to me on what I was going through because of it. So I did sacrifice like my family for a little bit, but I tried showing them like it wasn't about the money either. Like it was something I was doing because it made me happy.
Smart.
Yeah.
And see, I'd be like that too. Like, I'll go out and I'll film, and I'm just like, oh, I can't hang out Saturday night. I'm out filming. Like, you know, if you want to come kick it while we're filming, come out and film. You know,
Mhm.
like for me, that's a big sacrifice, especially with like friends and stuff. Like, hey, we're going here, and I'm like, I'm down to go, but today's a holiday, and there's gonna be a lot of people downtown.
There's gonna be so many people.
Yeah. It's like I'd rather go down and get good content than go out and just kick it with, and you know, not make no money out of it. You know what I mean?
That's what like Tony Hesh says is like chase the passion, not the money. You could see his memorial at the downtown. That's why I was like, you're refuting that. It's like pretty amazing, man. That's like
Yeah.
the best way to look at it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I like being out there. I like being downtown. I like making the videos. Same when I go to the strip too. I like being out there. And both have their own separate vibes when it comes to it.
I feel that. Okay, so with that, so this has been our 6-month mark. You guys don't. Okay, so actually last week was, and so I actually really tried to set up a really good week. And going forward, next week I have a good week set up, and so forth and so forth. That being said, sometimes in my case, I feel like it's the fantasy where I hate saying it because all my friends are going to watch this replay and they know what I'm talking about, but I needed to know all my buddies were like, hey, yo, we're really on board with this. Before I try to use any like influence, I'm like, okay, well, how serious are you? How are we going to do this? So that being said, now that I think there's I think Vladimir and Vinny over here have proven that there's a navigation, and that's what they're going to. What do you guys think the maintaining personal integrity? I know that's a weird one, but how do you grow this? Because there's two that are there and two that are going to be there. And so now, how do you tell these two who, as long as we keep on this, they're going to get famous? So how do you keep your personal integrity as we grow?
I just say sticking to the content, sticking to the storyline. I mean, as long as you have passion.
So
like
we're
Vlad
just a
was saying.
story. So we're just a story to you, 702 Josh. Is this just
It's
a
part of the
story in your
story,
fucking
baby.
notebook?
It's part
bud?
of the story.
Are we just on your tiki-taki over there as a fucking story?
Yeah, it can be. I mean, it's just it's like a movie. I tell people, like yeah, they see what they see in the videos, but like once that camera's off, we're still partying. We're still in the club. We're still at the after party, hanging out. We're still at the other friend's house, drinking, kicking it, having fun. There's a lot more that goes to it. That's just a part of it, you know.
That's bullshit. That's
I
the
think-
part I want to see.
I think
That's
it's
all
hard.
that I want to
And yeah,
see.
and like eventually we were gonna film that and everything, but it's like right now I'm just like I said, I'm just sticking to the story.
Tara, you got to reply to that?
Downtown doing the
I
interviews.
think it's hard because like when my content has changed over the years, and like when I was
Mhm.
like going down like a rough patch to where like I was like, you know, maybe it's because I'm not the same. My content's not the same as like when I first started. And I try to impersonate the old version of me, and it doesn't work.
Well,
you
but
can't fight it because you're not that same person.
Well, I hate to tell it to you, you're just not 18 anymore.
Yeah, exactly. This was 2018. That was 5 years ago. I'm 23. Is that 18?
Yeah.
That's right on the money too. That's crazy. It was.
Legit.
I was
Yeah.
18, but I did it up until
Listen,
I
I
was
know what app we
22.
met each other on, and where you were at on that app, and where I'm on that app.
Which one?
Live Me.
Oh, I started on Meet Me.
Oh, tits. Well, that was your first mistake.
No, I
As I'm on Meet Me. I'm sorry, Meet Me. I love you. Meet Me. I know I'm live on you. I love you guys. I love you guys.
No, I
Sorry,
swear.
we're on numerous
Vlad
platforms.
Hatter's being a hater.
I was top one of the
Canceled.
top badges on there. I got my top badge in 2 weeks.
Oh, you were one of the first top badges on there. That's
I
right.
almost
Yeah.
passed George
That's
UK
right.
at one point. I killed it on there.
Y'all don't know who that is, but I do believe me. That was a big deal. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can. Yeah. No, oh, red. No, we don't put it. You have red. You have to put it in a red cup. Red cup. We don't put that on TV. We don't put that on TV.
Am I
We
okay
put
to
that on
step
red
out real
cup.
quick then?
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Go get yourself a red cup. Get yourself a beer. What the fuck?
I didn't want to.
But yeah, no, I was originally on Meet Me, and then I went to Live Me because I thought because it was more global based, I would do better. And I did that for a little bit and got good at that. But I did a little bit of in between. I did tagged. I did
Oh, tagged. Okay, I gotta ask. For you that don't know, it's a very urban. Urban. We're being PC here. We're not trying to get canceled. I'm on tag, by the way. I love tag. I had a great time.
It's
What was your
exotic.
experience on tag?
A lot of sexual harassment. I'm like, I can't talk about like a penis because I'm like getting threatened to just to get shot at. It was just bad. They
Ooh.
don't take intimidation well if you tell them you have a penis.
Okay, so I have like 3 more questions before we wrap this up.
Okay.
We'll switch it for a bit, and I'm just gonna be generous to my non-famous friends who are about to be famous. As we continue to grow, how do you plan to actively seek attention and recognition, but stay true to you?
Marketing.
Wait, can you repeat question?
Well,
Yeah, slow that down a little
To
bit.
my non-famous friends, as we continue to grow your fame, how do you continue to actively seek attention and recognition, but stay true to who you are today?
Hit him, Vlad.
The way that I see it is, I come across. I'm a social butterfly. I love talking to anybody that they initiate the conversation with like the products I'm usually on, and they're like, "Wow, that's really cool," and it's like from there I create that relationship with that person that I meet at an understanding level where it's like, "Hey, I like the idea that you like something that I do. That is amazing." And honestly, as long as you see it that way, that's all that matters, because initially I'm just trying to create something that's overall going to benefit, like, the overall travel from point A to point B. And make it longer so you're able to just drive. Before I sound like a walking billboard, I just say, I just love talking to people, It's just like, be like, hey, you find interest in what I do? That's amazing. Let me teach you, but, like, summarize it very shortly. Just teach you what's really going on with what I got going on with these products. So it's like the batteries that I build, they're like just like very modular, and it's just the way that I see it. It's just something I like to do and share with everybody. So,
Vinny,
Yeah.
same question.
Fin City.
all right. I'm gonna go with the flow type of guy, and I'd say, I would keep putting stuff out there, and to stay true to myself, I'd follow this rule: if my weed's not allowed to go with me, I'm going in the wrong direction.
Oh,
Yes. Don't move to
Dang. Preach
So I'm
it,
a-
Vinny, huh?
so I'm gonna throw you both under the bus at the same time. So you guys don't know, but these two are actually fighting right now. They're best friends, and they're sitting next to each other. This is why I have them basically on his cam.
wow.
Ah.
Took the time to do this shit. You see what they? Okay.
So we're on camera right now. How do we get you to hug and make up and
No,
be
no,
best
no.
friends again? Oh yeah, we're on
This is
camera.
pressure.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's big pressure.
That's
That's that internet. I'm chasing clout. Did you see Vinny's face?
You're gonna give me a scholarship after this one, I promise you.
So how do we get you two to hug right now? What do we have to say,
It's
dude?
all my
No, wait.
fault.
Who has to yell? Who has to yell at each other first? Or who has to say sorry so you can hug?
Get me a blizzy and a lighter.
No. Who has to say sorry
Can
first?
we be friends?
What?
Does Vlad have to say sorry first?
No.
Does Vinny have to say sorry first? Who has to say sorry?
No, I blame my. Listen, Vinny doesn't do anything that's bad I've ever seen in my life. I'm gonna be honest.
Fucking saint.
I just want to poke his buttons. Just like be like,
I thought he
yo,
was gonna say
go
his
backflip.
butt.
It's just
I
like.
thought that was going a different direction.
Yeah, like not in a weird way. Like
But-
just, like do a backflip.
That almost did take a weird turn out.
Yeah, and we're moving on. I'm gonna let you slide from that. You guys can hug later. All right. So let's talk about the power of being influenced on society. Let's move on. We only got a little bit of time left, but I do want you two to hug before the night's over. You don't have to do it on camera. So let's talk about the power of being an influencer today. Because you both, okay, so let me give you an example. I could piss you both off, either one of you, in a crazy way, and you both could influence 50 to 1,000 people, depending on your day, luck, or time. You could convince 50 to 1,000 people to call my phone number, which, by the way, you both have, and you have my house address, and so you both can do some naughty things. So, do you think that you influencers have a responsibility to use your platform in a positive way that's solely about your own personal gain without fucking over people who literally might shit on your face, and you have my phone number and my home address, and you're never, ever, ever going to abuse your privilege? Because, again, what you guys have is a privilege of power.
Honestly.
Did I hit you both with too much there? Did you not realize you had that power?
I could though. That's
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah. No, I thought about it. I was like, damn, I could.
Yeah,
It's
I know
funny
you
'cause
could.
It's like you'll have friends that hate on you. It's like, bro, I could really like
Ruin
mess with
your
you a little bit
life.
if I wanted to. Like I really could, you know. I could send 50 people to your house just to TP it. For
Right,
fun.
and neither. By the way, neither of you said no. Neither of you said you're like.
I wouldn't. I
I
mean,
could.
no. If someone really deserved it,
Yeah.
I would.
they really
Oh,
deserve it.
fuck you!
Oh!
Oh, you're the worst.
Got him.
Sorry, I've pulled a lot more.
We
ugly
talked about
reviews.
this earlier. I have
We
a million
did.
chances.
Yeah, no, yeah.
We talked about
But
this
it's
earlier.
like, but you know what? It's crazy because it's like people doing the pineapple when you go live. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
but it's how you use it. By the way, I only show that to you guys, not to them.
Oh, okay.
They couldn't see that, only you guys. I
Okay.
did that on purpose.
Okay, good.
I promise. Only
That
you
was a
saw
good
that.
one, though.
Promise.
That
Yeah,
was a good one. I
right.
ruined your life. Yeah.
Right.
Don't play me. You're on the wrong topic to be doing that.
The wrong
Don't play
topic to
with
be
me.
doing it right now.
It's like you want to give me ideas.
Okay, so everybody in the background, what happened was I showed a. Did you see their faces? A picture? That's what happens. The power of influence, right? So now, how do you both feel about that?
I mean,
You didn't realize it until I had to point it out. If look what I
See,
could do.
and like-
Look what I could do.
And see,
By the way, it's a trust. I promise that's not on the live. Promise.
uh,
But it was a great example of
it
me.
was.
You
It
were
was
both
a
like,
really good.
"Ah!"
It was a really good example. It was
yeah,
a really
I'm
good
taking
example.
pictures behind the scenes.
No.
So with that, with following up with that, see the whole picture thing? The thing about
Uh-huh.
the power of influence. I had
Yes.
filmed a video downtown, and the guy was like super wasted. He had lipstick all over his lips.
So you have a responsibility. That was my first word, responsibility.
Yeah, it's like we have a responsibility, but at the same time, people are adults, and if you're out in public drunk,
That's bullshit.
that's on fucking you.
You're exploiting drunk adults knowing what you're doing. Okay, so it's one of those things, there's a situational thing. And I'm going to use it as like, if I'm in a relationship, I truly don't want my girl going to get blacked out drunk unless she's with me. Because it's a situational thing. And so with that said, if some dumb let her girl go out there and get blacked out drunk, yeah, that's their fault, but you're definitely exploiting that vulnerability.
Yeah. But I mean, they're giving, like, you're in public, you're over 21, you're out there drinking. Like, this guy was, like, definitely older.
Can I add to like why this guy had it coming to him?
No.
Because he didn't know how to conversate
He wasn't
with his
even
girl.
the one being interviewed.
Clearly.
He jumped in on it, grabbed the microphone, and then started talking.
See, but that's another situation. This other one is, I think Vlad was recording that night. He was filming for me. But there was a
Oh, look
guy-
how excited you are. Okay.
There was a guy, we had asked him, we were like, oh, what is your thoughts on girls? What is your thoughts on girls that choke guys during sex?
Wait, what?
Yeah, so that was the question. And he was like, oh, choke me harder, and like was like super into it, like thinking it was funny, and his girl came up and like choked him, like, like grabbed him by the throat, like. And I was like,
No
yeah,
way.
yeah, lipstick all over his fucking lips and shit.
What the
Like they've
fuck?
been making out all crazy. He's wasted. And then I posted the video, and he had DM me. He's like, "Hey,
Can you not?
Can you blur out my face and the logo on my shirt because it's the company I work for?" And it was like a luxury car company, and I was just like, "Bro, what? Like, no, I'm not gonna delete the video and repost it. I already posted it. It's already been viewed 50,000 times."
Did you get him fired?
Not that I know of. I mean, he didn't never message me again. And it
So
was like-
that right there. Now, let's say reverse roles, because, by the way, we are about to go record. These two famous people have really cool mics, and they don't know it, but we're about to compete on who can get the best recording tonight.
Oh, that's what's going down.
See, look at them both. They're like, fuck, yeah, we are, daddy. Rawr. They both are like, listen. By the way, we both decided that Tara has the bigger peen. So earlier, they're like, yeah, we're going to see, yeah, bigger daddy's about to come out.
Ow! Oh, my nail
Oh, you
on
know
my
what?
phone.
See?
God damn.
So with that, now, this is for both of you. At what point do you draw the line? Because
You don't.
You don't?
You
Or
jump
you?
over the line. You fucking jump rope.
So you're okay with ruining someone's life? To what point?
Oh no, absolutely not. I'll ruin my own before.
Okay,
Yeah,
you're
see,
That's
okay.
my content.
I'm not
That's
worried
my-
about either your own life. You want to ruin your life? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no.
But
my
at what
content
point are we gonna
was-
go out there and create content and draw a line? Where? Okay, so here's my question for both of you.
Okay, lay it out.
Where does your
I'm ready.
integrity line land and the hard line? And sometimes you need to lay out the hard line before you go record. That way, then we have it.
For me,
Verbally.
personally, I don't really have one. I don't have a threshold.
You don't have a
say-
threshold?
No, like I'll say whatever to people until I break everything out of them. I'll get it all. And I'll
Swear.
post my best parts of that conversation while interviewing them. And if they don't like it, they could DM me, slide into the DMs, and then message our management that does it if they want it to get deleted. Which is there's a fee that comes with
Talk
that.
to my team, right?
Yeah, talk to the team, and it comes with a fee because the team's out there recording and filming and editing, and there's a fee that comes with that.
Hold
So
on.
if you want like content, like you said that we took it too far and it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna affect your life, all you gotta do is slide in the DM and there's a fee.
See, as a
A
female,
fee.
the reason I haven't really done it like to where like I'm interviewing, you know what I mean? My live stream
Okay,
has
okay.
been like my household is because as a female, it's different.
Yeah,
You can't
because
look a certain way and approach people without them thinking some type of way. Girls get intimidated, and guys try to fuck.
wait. I've seen your Instagram and your shorts. If we're talking about just today's
That ladder's
alone,
on it,
girl, you're a thirst trap. Like, bro,
But I
what?
tell people I have a dick.
Bro.
My personality
I
doesn't
don't-
reflect
okay,
how
I
I
don't give a-
look, though.
You are a third. I know you, so I don't even like. I just giggle. Like, damn, bro, you're such a thirst trap. Tell me that one picture where you're. Hold on. You're like, hey, daddy. Rah. Like, come on. You're like, ooh, like you quit playing. Stop it.
But seriously, my
Stop
content isn't
it.
like that, though. When I go live, is it like that?
Wait.
What?
Wait.
What?
Wait.
What?
The what's going on behind? Every time I say wait, there's a
What?
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 They hear.
It's different. My content is different. Like, when guys try to hit on me, I tell them I have a dick to, like, deter them from, like, treating me like that. You know what I mean?
So you
How many
post
guys
a
actually
thirst
believe
trap,
There's
and then
some guys that are okay with being gay. Like, it's crazy. So crazy.
So like really, that doesn't bother me. How big is it though?
They all know, too.
Josh is like, "Don't worry, I'm bi. I'll take it."
Shut the fuck. You're stupid. Don't listen to him.
You guys have been great.
You're a savage. That was a good one. I like that.
Okay, let's break it down. We are almost at the end of this.
Okay.
To my non-famous friends, what has been your biggest challenges trying to reach or break into what my famous? So, by the way, we've been doing this 6 months now. Last week made 6 months, and so yeah, we had to delay this week a week, but you know, it worked out. So we've been doing this 6 months, which means you're kind of interested in this. You guys have been pretty consistent for 6 months. So, what do you think your biggest challenges have been trying to break into this?
For me, in a business standpoint, I would see it as competitors that have.
Not business, no, personal.
I know, but that's my
Personal.
form
You.
of law. I don't know like what kind of.
I don't need to know about your money. That's
no,
not.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying.
Dude,
like,
you just doing this for money?
No, I'm saying it like in the business sense. That's the only way I can see it. I don't want to make it like I don't.
But this isn't business.
I-
This hopefully is a hobby that becomes a business.
know.
Yeah, sure.
But essentially, I don't want to like abide to that type of clout culture. I want to adapt to my own bracket of clout based on.
Do you want to be
business.
Bill Nye, the science guy?
You have to cloud off something. You can't.
You have to.
You
yeah.
have to cloud. There, you can't get to the
E-bikes.
top without clouding.
But so do you want to be like the Bill Nye of e-bikes?
Futuristic ass e-bikes that you see in Blade Runner.
But there's
that
more
type
to-
of shit.
I say it's
I don't
always
think
hopping
people
off
smoke
of it.
enough weed for that yet. Like, let's get all of it federally legal, and then we can talk about it.
Vinny, same question.
My biggest challenges are I get so caught up in the moment sometimes I forget to hit record. I don't document. I don't document.
No way!
I'm
You
just living life, and it'd be nice to have someone just who follows me around and documents all the stupid, and crazy, awesome high
I
shit.
know
do.
that feeling.
And see, and Vinny, I'm always like filming him too. Like when we're out, I'll film him. I'm like, he's Vinny, and I'll fuck with him when I'm doing it too.
And and then after that, it's like I'm a stoner, Vin City stoner. I want cannabis content, but you got to really tiptoe that censorship line when you're introducing.
Yes, we do. You have to.
Cannabis into your content, and
It's a fine line.
so I just kind of got to get more familiar with those roadblocks and how to get past them, and still stay true to what I want my content to be, which is heavily censored.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
And seeing with that, you always gotta, if you stay true to yourself and post the content you want, but find a way to censor it to where it's appropriate for all platforms, to where you're still getting out there and you're still getting the clout from it.
Okay, so I have the perfect. I'm gonna not interrupt. I'll leave you forward to it. So, what lessons do you think you could each learn from each other during this random hour of let's call this a random adventure, with two people there, or almost there, or there, whatever. I'm not even get into that. You guys have so many more fans than so many more people, and versus the others who are just chasing it. So, how do you think you guys could impact each other, the friendship or the influence, or in the best way, what advice would you give to each other? The famous versus the non-famous. What the final question would be? What advice would you give to each other?
My advice would be is don't be afraid to feel like awkward or feel embarrassed for doing a video. Like when you're in public, if there's people around, like don't be afraid to turn on the camera and just film. Like don't be afraid to just like talk to people and film, and like even though the camera's on you, don't feel awkward with the camera on you. Just like go for it, and it will be awkward, it'll feel awkward, but just be yourself, and then the content comes out quick.
See, I felt like it was easy. Streaming for me, like I actually stumbled across it like by accident, thinking it was like this dating app, and somebody was using my pictures as like a catfish. So I went live to prove that I was the real profile.
Yeah.
And I got like 1,400 views, and this was like 7 years ago. So this was like, I mean, for an hour, that was like a lot.
Like
For his
15,
first time,
like
yeah.
1,400 people streaming on your stream.
Yeah, exactly. Like watching my stream. So immediately, I did well, and I got my top badge within 2 weeks, like 1.6 million diamonds. On
Which
maybe
was how much USD?
7 years ago. That was, I mean, thousands.
No, in 2 weeks. What is like that one?
Thousands.
So you made like
It's like at least
say
at
like
least
10,000
at least 2,000. Like at least
in
a couple.
2 weeks.
At least.
Brandy, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And this was 7 years ago. You know what I mean? Like the value of currency, like compared, like
7 years ago, 2,000 was 4 months of my rent.
Yeah.
Literally.
For real.
Literally.
Yeah, that's how I got the taxi cab to say screw it and go from Barcelona to Amsterdam. You know what I mean? Like I was just had a lot of income. It's crazy, and it was by accident.
Yeah, that's dope as fuck.
Yeah.
And it's like you resonate with it. It becomes personal. Like it becomes
Yep.
like part of you, especially streaming and everything, and then being out like in public too with it. If you're doing content in public, it like becomes part of you, and like you just want
See,
more.
I
of
never
it.
did like public content. That was never kind of like my thing. I would meet people from
Today's
the
the day.
It's yeah.
Today's the
Well,
day.
at
Are
least
you
the
ready for
fucking-
this
it's,
today?
It's different because I feel like because the censorship and stuff like that, if I were to do that, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why I get so bold when I drink, but I'm like, let's try to get banned. Like, I
do that shit too.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah,
Fuck
that's a conversation I'll have with you both off camera, not on camera.
Yeah, I know. But
That's an
yeah.
off-camera discussion.
Yeah, that's why I just don't do it in the public. Like, that and like a vibe, you know what I mean? I need to smoke my blunt. Off camera, though.
Red Solo Cup.
So yeah, so back to that question though for the fellas over there. Don't be afraid to post content. Just post it. Be a part of it. Just do it. Like, be in the content. Be in the now. Don't be scared to show it. Like, just feel like secure in your content and just go for it. That's what I would
Ooh.
say.
I came up with one. Do you feel the need to prove yourself as you're clout chasing? As like, okay, so the thing is, I actually know you both behind the scenes, and I've got to know you both, and damn, I know where your confidence is and isn't. I could pick on you both. I maybe could make you both cry, maybe not. But the thing is I know you enough where, like, I know the real you and the internet you. And there's a respect thing. Like, recently I made videos. I would never disrespect my friends. You only show the best of people. Or, like I just showed you that picture, that
was
ever sees the light of day.
Yes, it was.
But so there's a respect thing. So do you ever feel your need to prove yourself? Or where does your confidence of internet and you
My
exist?
confidence is me. That's why I don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
I feel like I've got, now that I've kind of like learned myself, like, and thinking about like the content changes and stuff like that, maybe I should go back to the old me. I'm like, no, like they're in it.
Fuck
for
no,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
If they don't like them, well, if I get
Fuck 'em.
arrested, then I can like reassess.
Don't get arrested.
Yeah, no.
See,
If I ever push it too
it's
far.
like you said, like, oh, you're like there's the internet you and then there's your personal you. But it's like, yes, you feel competitive with the personal you also sometimes. For me, I feel like personally,
That makes sense.
I'm like, I gotta be better for my content. I gotta push this more. I gotta take it to this next level. Because my boys will call me like, hey, you should do this. You should have said this. And I'm like, yeah, I should have. But like me as my personal person, like like off camera, is like, yeah, should I or shouldn't I? But the guy that when I'm on camera, that persona, I'm like, shit, let's do it. Let's push it to that limit and keep going with it. So it's like you do kind of battle between your personal life and your filming life, but it's like at the same time it all comes together as one, and you just gotta be yourself and do what you do.
That's really beautiful.
Thank
You two over there want to add anything before I get my
I just want to point out. Vlad's
That's actually
return-
really beautiful,
Vlad's
Josh.
return to weed has him looking like this right now.
Yeah,
Just like this.
my heart.
I can't believe it. Let's see what you guys
All
do.
right, well, I get the pleasure of running this shit show for the last 3 hours. My name is the Mad Hatter. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the last hour. We've dived into the world of clout chasing. We've even got to talk of fame and non-fame. We got to explore the pursuit of recognition in the dazzling lights of Sin City. It's been an absolute roller coaster. Emotion, surprise, even some Vladdy Daddy revelations. But before we wrap things up, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned today. If we've learned anything, listen, for real, and I mean this, the chase for the clout isn't just about gaining flowers. I promise it's not. It's not about the likes. It's not about the moments of fame. By the way, they're beautiful. I like being in the fame. It's a journey. Well, ask both of these two over here. This journey literally challenges, and as I say this, ask me if I'm wrong, this journey tests your challenges. It tests your authenticity. It actually tests, are you a piece of shit?
Yeah,
Are
it
you
makes
gonna
you
get
question
someone
yourself.
fired?
Yeah,
Are you
it makes
gonna
you
put-
question yourself.
Yeah, okay,
It
so
does.
are you going to
Absolutely.
define your own values in a world that constantly demands your attention? And with that, the one question I didn't get to ask you two single motherfuckers of, would you take your Instagram or long-term relationship? Don't answer that. Just think about it. Your Instagram or long-term relationship.
Instagram.
Yeah. Mhm.
Fuck them.
Right. Josh picks the same thing. It's crazy. I know.
But that's
So-
part of that's
so
part
by
of
the
your
way-
life. I
yeah,
have
so by
that
the
part
way-
too.
So by the way, you're both single, but neither of you will give up your Instagram
I could
for not.
if it was serious enough.
So whether you're famous, navigating the pressures of stardom,
I can restart.
or you're not famous, just trying to rise above the noise, the experience has shown us the complexities of all of this bullshit cloud chasing. Finding the time between your personal ambition and staying true to oneself, all
Yes,
while
sir.
understanding the impact that you can have on others and the world around us. So that was a long one today. So I bid you all farewell to all my clout chasing friends who want to have a million fans. Remember, let's pursue the clout. But it shouldn't be the ultimate goal. It's the lessons learned and the relationships formed and the growth that comes from stepping outside of our comfort zone. Because goddamn, Josh, woo, do you ever step out of your comfort zone? As always, let's remember to be kind to each other and embrace our authentic selves.
And for me, one
And
last
never
thing.
forget the power of a genuine connection. And with that, I mean, these two are best friends. They're going to hug later.
Nah.
So to Las Vegas, I'm the Mad Hatter signing off.
Round of
Take
applause
care,
to Mad Hatter!
Goodbye, everybody. I love you guys. Ooh, wait.